are live, so we will need some kind of tweet.
Let me do that. I am tagging all of you so you can retweet it if you want.
So you can retweet it if you want.
It is part of the contract.
Yes.
Nick, what's your Twitter handle?
What is it now? Nick Scott 42.
No, it is.
No.
Nick D.
It
Scott?
is just Nick D. Scott.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
I knew it was something like
Got it. James, will this be at totalpartycocktail.live?
It should be,
or
but
should I send them directly?
It might take.
It's not yet.
A few minutes to pick
All
it
right.
up.
I don't know if I should send a tweet that says we're live when we're not live, or wait until totalpartykill.live picks it up.
I'll go check it.
I'm refreshing totalpartykill.live over and over again.
Somebody's in the chat room, so
Not currently live.
I think some people are subscribed to the YouTube thing so that they can immediately get pinged in YouTube. YouTube people, you might tell us if if you can hear everybody, especially sometimes the streamer gets not in there. So if you can hear James, that's
if you can hear me when I'm talking, but if you can hear me when I'm not talking, I've done something wrong.
That's a problem.
If you can hear James' thoughts.
Yes. No. I have definitely changed the wrong setting somewhere.
Oh no, everything is Scottish now.
That's not a bad thing.
A lot of cursing.
Well,
yeah, why so much cursing?
That's not any different from my normal brain.
Oh.
Yes, Kakara's not allowed to curse in this adventure. Sadly.
Neither are you, sir.
Yes, but I'm not playing the same character.
Oh, you're not? Okay. I am the only cursey one that is now supposed to not curse.
Yeah.
Shut it down, Kakara.
If you like Total Party Kill with more cursing, and it's really not even the cursing that gets to me, it's the it turns out that
bunch of pervs, really.
Yeah, it turns out there's like a whole level of things you can do with words that are worse than cursing. There is a available only to members. The Grievous Detective Agency
this will never
adventure.
be let out in public.
It will never. There was, I think there was the idea that we might someday let it out, and then it happened, and it was like, no, that goes in a vault behind a paywall.
Tony is never going to let us do this again.
There is theoretically a second adventure, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm still kind of recovering. So I was prepared for language. It was ideas that I could not prepare for.
My ideas were perfectly legitimate.
So much child death.
None of those children died.
But you certainly tried.
You endangered them. So much. Sorry, child endangerment.
That is a different crime.
James, do you have the YouTube link? Because TotalPartyKill.live still has not picked it up yet. And I would tweet it if we had the link.
Let me.
I don't know if Streamlabs gives you that.
If it does, no, not there. Not there. Oh, I shouldn't have clicked that.
I realize I'm only waited 3 minutes, but I'm an impatient Tony.
Yeah. I do not have the link to hand, so I will just Google for it.
Oh, I didn't know. I guess that's a reasonable thing I could have done too. Sorry.
I did not have time to roll a cleric. Sorry, everyone.
It's okay.
That's fine. We'll die.
I have some healing on my character.
Okay. The order of operations this morning went: woke up, grabbed phone, checked email, saw I had a DM, checked Slack. Tony said, "Can someone step in?" I said yes, but that was at like 10:20. It is now noon. And I had to cook.
I tweeted a thing. People have clearly figured out how to. 4 people. Well, one of them is me. 3 other people. Secret Agent is there. MAARJA is there. Tuesday Morning. Will Wagner is there. Listen to Will Wagner.
The true fans.
Yeah, put the link in the chat if you didn't have it already.
And I just tweeted it. So we have the stuff. All right. Everyone is recording. Everyone is doing stuff. Listeners, bootleg, live stream, whoever you are, welcome. We're doing a very special Monday afternoon D&D adventure. I don't. How did we get here? Unclear. I have time off from work, and I don't know what to do with myself other than run Dungeons and Dragons for people. When I have nothing to do, I don't know. Bad things happen. My house is very clean. Yeah, I don't have a video game that I'm super into right now, so it's just I gotta do something. Gotta keep moving. So part of that is playing Dungeons and Dragons. Can't be alone with my thoughts. That would be bad. So today we will be starting the level 3 adventure, which is called The Book of the Raven. This is from the Candlekeep Mysteries collection. This is a set of adventures I've now run. I think almost 10 of these adventures. I think there's 17 or so more than half of them. I've did the weird thing where I started high up for one group and then at the start for another group. They are generally interesting. They're very lot of book related problems because they take place at the Candlekeep library. I will tell you, sometimes I think the word the mysteries is a little bit maybe selling something that's not always provided in each adventure. The first adventure, the mystery is like, there's a guy. Is he missing? Is he in a book? He's in a book. I guess that's the mystery. And that's a mystery. I'll give them that. The second one is, I think, like, books are attacking people. That's mysterious. We'll have to deal with that. This one is basically, there's some mysteries in it, but I would say the opening mystery is like, a bird has given you a book. That's weird, right? That's a mystery. But some of them are just like, bad things are happening. Is that a mystery? It's not a mystery, but it's the answer is usually, are books involved? Yes. These adventures teach you that books are very dangerous. So yeah. All right, shall we get
good
into
intro?
It, players? Yeah, good intro. That was just for that's gonna get cut out. That's for the bootleg live stream people. That was just my commentary on Wizards of the Coast product, Candlekeep Mysteries. So, all right, let's do the thing. Welcome back, everybody. It's me, Tony Sindelar, and you are listening to Total Party Kill. We are back for more Candlekeep Mysteries. We're doing something special today. We are starting a new adventure. Every day we start a new adventure is a special time because there's so much potential to find things, to meet new characters, befriend new NPCs, to really just discover who we are as people. When I say people, I mean characters that we're embodying that are different than who we are as people. Today's adventure will be the level 3 adventure for Candlekeep Mysteries, titled The Book of the Raven. Allow me to introduce our players, and they will introduce their characters, and then we'll get things started. First off, it's our good friend from the north. It's Annette Weerstra.
Hello, I am playing Kakara, who is an Ravenesque Aarakocra ranger. So she is excited to be here because there's rumor there might be more ravens around.
It's true. Also joining us from that general direction, not a newcomer to Total Party Kill, but a newcomer to my adventures. It's Nick Scott. Hi, Nick. Welcome.
Thank you. I am playing Neural, a human barbarian, and I'm just basically here to break stuff.
Excellent. Just like James, who is our next person I'm going to introduce. James Thompson. Welcome back to Total Party Kill.
I don't know why I have a reputation for breaking things. I am playing...
You break me all the time.
I mean, that's the best part of this show. I am playing Nyasa Nightweaver, who is a high elf rogue who has renounced her assassin ways, but still likes to collect the tools of the trade.
Mm-hmm. Next up, this is filling in for us on short notice. This is a little bit like when we bring in an understudy. It's Aline Sims. We had one of our dear players is sick, and so Aline is filling in on very short notice. That is a valuable service that Aline provides here at the Incomparable Incorporated. Aline, welcome.
Does that make me like a pinch hitter, or I don't know?
You are already above me in sports knowledge, so.
I know there's a thing called a pinch hitter, and thanks to Erica, I kind of know what a hat trick is. I am playing Belen Greybeard, the Mountain Dwarf fighter. I'm not sure what she's doing in a library. Hopefully, she will not attack the books, although the books have been known to attack people. So
true.
Who knows?
Yeah. And last but certainly not least, it's Monty Ashley. Welcome back, Monty.
Hi, Tony. It's me, Monty. I'm playing Townley Mountain Taker, who was a humble researcher and sage until one day he went out to lunch and the Queen of Air and Darkness visited him and gave him magic eyes.
Classic Wednesday. So our adventure is actually going to start with Townley. Townley, you picked up a book. Were gifted, came into possession of. I'm not sure. I'm not your lawyer here, but you now have a book that you didn't have before that you found at the end of the last adventure. Faithful readers can listen to Total Party Kill episode number here, which was the end of our level 2 adventure.
A good idea when you started that, but
yeah, well, it's tricky because the episodes haven't been edited yet, so I have no idea what number it is. Let's just say 745, where Townley and others were on their way back from the city of Baldur's Gate to Candlekeep when a bird, a raven, I believe, dropped off a book in front of on the path. Townley scooped it up and you headed back to Candlekeep. Some of that adventuring party is still here in the form of Nyasa. Others have gone off on other adventures. Polly and Frittata were going to do something with a carpet. And, I think Townley was like, well, classic carpet book choice. You chose book. So several days have passed. You are in the Hearth, which is the tavern within Candlekeep Library. So just to remind all of you, or for adventurers who haven't been to Candlekeep before, Candlekeep is an immense. It is like a city-sized library there with various amenities to serve visitors here. So there's a tavern and there's a stables and a blacksmith, as well as many library-related services. And it is not uncommon for adventurers to find themselves hanging out in the Hearth between adventures, between research sessions. Bellin, you've been far and wide in that you have been to the faraway remote town of White Sparrow and now find yourself here in Candlekeep. And you may have had a particular errand that brought you here, or it was just on the way and a place to stop for a few days and rest after some weary travel on the road. But you have spent the last several days, Townley, studying this book and what it has to say about things. And I think you may be ready to perhaps go beyond the book in your research. And it may require the recruitment of some companions. Is that fair to say?
yes.
So you've read the book cover to cover several times. I think I sent you information out of the book that you can feel free to pull up. And I think just in the last day you found, there's the book as it is written, and then it seems like someone else, probably not the original author of the book, but somebody else had dashed kind of like a map inside the cover of the book that kind of fell apart that you found there. And I think it's that map falling out is we'll call it a call to action, if you will. You have also, Townley, you have noticed in your comings and goings in the Court of Air at Candlekeep, there is, can we say it's the same bird? Hard to say, but certainly there is a bird of similar make and model hanging out that looks reminiscent of the bird that delivered you this book originally.
Can I roll to see if it's the same bird?
Yes, please roll to see if it is the same bird. Bird.
Animal handling?
I would say animal handling or perception. Those are closest to bird. In my reading of your character
perception
sheet.
I'm happy to do perception. I'm great at perception.
Yeah, you got those magic eyes. Roll perception.
I rolled a 3, so 8.
It's a bird.
It is. Let me say, I think it is not the same bird. It is a very, very similar bird, and specifically depending on how you are at bird knowledge. I don't know, with an 8. I was going to say you may not be certain if it's a raven or a crow, but it's definitely one of those, decent sized black birds with, black beak, beady eyes, whatnot. So it's been hanging out in the Court of Air, looking at things.
You sort of are describing me as well.
Well, this is a bird-sized bird as opposed to a humanoid bird. Townley, let me just tell you, you're in the Hearth. Again, this is a very quiet, peaceful tavern, as taverns in the world of Dungeons and Dragons go. The main people that tend to be passing through the Hearth are scholars, sages, maybe some bards, and adventurers who might accompany, we'll just call them nerds, on their way to and from the library. So just looking around, you see the place is probably only a third full at this time of day. It's mid-morning. In the corner, there's an ogre flipping through a very large book. There's two halflings that seem to be playing some kind of variant of checkers. There's three old men. They look like they might be wizards. They seem to be engaged in some kind of lively debate about which of them invented magic. That doesn't really make sense. There is a night elf sitting over at the bar that that's Nyasa Night Reader. She's probably waving at you enthusiastically. You may or may not be avoiding eye contact. There's a dwarf hanging out in the corner, looking, just kind of resting peacefully, dwarven fighter. There is a strange pairing of, it looks like some kind of, I don't know how far and wide Townley has traveled, but we'll just say bird person, hanging out enjoying a late breakfast with looks like maybe some kind of barbarian, somebody that is not, Nick, would it be fair to say, not wearing a shirt?
No, I do have a shirt on, but it's not in great condition.
A sleeveless shirt. And it certainly seems not totally appropriate for the climates of here.
That's a vest. You just described a vest.
Well, I think there's a difference between a sleeveless shirt and a vest in terms of form and function, but certainly, or at least how they ended up there. But they do have some similar properties.
Let's say if it's got buttons up.
There's
the front.
And there's as always, it's a D&D tavern. There's in the corner, a cloaked hooded man with kind of a crown of glowing fire rotating on his head, and a kind of skeletal arm that he's using to drink from a heavy, perhaps lead tankard. So those are your cast of characters that you've got to potentially meet with and recruit for your call to action.
I would like to go up to Nyasa.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waving.
Starting with a person you know.
The person who's just been sitting there waving this entire time as we pan across the library, just every time.
Yeah,
oh, hello!
Just panning back. Yep.
So what's the deal with the book this time?
Nyasa, you remember this book?
I do.
A raven dropped it at our feet. It's called The Book of the Raven, and it's fascinating. It's about the Vistani. You know the Vistani?
Fill me in. Assume that I know, but
well, they're pretty stereotypical Romani, really. But I'm going to try to push past that really quick.
I think that's probably wise. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me gives inspiration.
It's about this woman who wrote the book, but it's anonymous, and she broke her leg and was taken in by them and traveled them for a while. So it talks about their food and their music, crackling fires on cold nights, wolves howling in the dead of night, that sort of thing. But right at the end, she's hobbling about on crutches, and the caravan goes to a winding mountain road at the gates of a tall, dark castle. And there's 4 pages of describing the castle, and then it stops.
So
right, the last few pages are blank, but there's a map.
I mean,
and
I like a quest as much as anybody, but is this enough to go on?
Well, the map has a little poem on it.
Oh, poetry.
Says,
why didn't you say?
Follow the trail to the Hand and Horn. That's this here on the map. See, there's a little hand thing. Past 3 Tree Hill, and I think that's this hill with 3 trees on it. Over River Warren. That's, I don't know which river. There's 3 rivers on here, but let's say it's this one. To the Worm's Mark, and you can see here on the map that there's something called the Scorch of the Red Worm, and it looks like a giant crater, which then to the Foggy Moors west of there, the treasure's yours.
Okay, now you're talking my language. If you just led with
common
treasure.
Well, I had to, give you the context. It's like you think this map could just say start at the giant Scorch of the Red Worm crater, but no, you have to start at the Hand and Horn. So I had to start with the book that the map came from.
Yeah, well, artists, they just like to sort of embellish everything.
They do. So the point is, I got this treasure map. You want to go?
Yep.
Great.
Let's do it.
Do you think we should recruit, say, 3 more people?
That seems appropriately the right number. But if this was dropped by, you said it was a raven. Well, I was there. I witnessed it.
Yeah,
Maybe we
I
should
did say it.
recruit somebody somewhat bird-like, perhaps?
Interesting. It's possible that a raven wrote this book.
Entirely possible. I mean, birds are very resourceful.
It doesn't explain why they're hobbling around on crutches.
Well, if we see a
mean-
bird that's got a bad leg, we know what we're looking for. But let's talk to the bird lady.
Sounds good. We go over to the bird lady.
All right, over on the other side of the tavern, I imagine the Kakara and recently acquired traveling companion Neural. You are, I think, probably, maybe you just got to Candlekeep this morning. You checked into the tavern. You're enjoying some hot food after a couple days on the road, and 2, let's just call them weirdos, walk up to you.
Hello. I am okay. I heard the word raven from your mouth. You just a few minutes ago, and I've been
That's not a slur, is it? We were talking about this book, the book of the Raven.
Well, I'm fond of things like raven queens and raven birds and raven aarakocra. So I embrace that.
We
as a
didn't want to make
definition of myself.
assumptions, but we thought this might be interesting to you.
But yeah, I was trying to listen, and then I also heard something about treasure. I couldn't hear. We're a bit far away, and it's But
yeah, I said he should have led with the treasure thing as well, but
yeah. Well,
I
no,
look around
but
the
ravens
room
are
and
pretty
everybody
important.
is listening in very intently in the entire tavern.
About surprisingly, the halflings really into that game of checkers. Those 3 old men arguing about which of them invented magic seem to be kind of have agreed on some kind of weird 3-way arm wrestle to settle things. And the guy with the glowing rotating crown seems disinterested in everything. So,
Right.
but that dwarven fighter seems at least not disinterested.
All right.
So,
yes, we have a treasure map.
Yes.
Do you recognize the handwriting in this book?
It looks like it could have been written maybe by another aarakocra. It does have that style. I can't confirm, though. We are a diverse group
of course, yes.
bird-like people.
I will tell you, does one of you, either Townley or Kakara, you haven't technically introduced yourselves yet, want to roll anything on the map itself or the book? Like
Sure, I'd like to roll something on this map.
I will
what am I
roll
rolling?
as well.
Like a perception.
Also, we all wear name tags in the pub. It's the best way,
It's
at
just
one of these
classic
meet and
adventuring.
greets.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1, so 6.
Okay. Kakara, how'd you do?
Rolled better. I rolled a 16.
You're looking at them, and honestly, you're kind of like, how did this guy not notice this already? The map and the book are clearly in like different handwriting, and of kind of you're conspicuously not of the same style of writing at all.
Mm-hmm.
You think that the book is written, in a slightly feminine child handwriting, though it tries to be kind of fancy. So I imagine kind of 5th grade level cursive, and the map is it looks more like it was done by an adult.
I explain this rather smugly.
That explains why the evil beware on the map is done in calligraphy. Oh, by the way, it says evil beware on the map in really big fancy letters. I should have maybe mentioned that.
I want to query that. Is that evil people should be beware, or there is evil and we should be wary of it?
It's just 2 words, man. Evil and beware.
It just kind of changes the whole tone of the thing, but it doesn't matter.
Is
We're
there
going
a comma
anyway.
or not?
Kakar, do you want to introduce your companion?
I say yes. We are very interested in hanging out with you. And before we begin, I should say my name is Kakara, And this is my friend here, Neryl.
Neural?
Neural.
Neural?
N.
Neural.
Yes.
Neural. Kakara?
Forgive my Kakara.
Kakara.
You have to put the stress on the right place.
You do.
Or it changes the meaning completely.
All right. Well, are you two interested in going on a risky mission for some treasure?
If we have to beware evil, definitely. That sounds like my kind of adventure.
We got to know. This book was dropped on us by a raven.
I heard, and I want to speak to this raven. You haven't seen him around, have you, or her?
We think we might have, but we
We've
didn't
seen
want to
black-
make any assumptions.
We've seen
from across
black birds.
From across the hearth, on the other side of the room, there's a window that looks out on the court of air, the big courtyard in Candlekeep, and there does seem to be at the window something makes like a tapping noise. It does look like there's some kind of animal pecking at the window. There's a dwarven fighter who is seated in kind of a comfortable chair under this window that seems somewhat startled by that. Aline, that's you.
Does the window open?
Nope. And it has small little panes.
Okay.
It's not very it's not a big it's the kind of window that doesn't open. The door is the kind of door that opens that goes outside. This is not an adventure where you're stuck in a tavern. No expense was spared.
4 people sounds good, but I think we need a 5th to really beware evil properly.
What kind of person were you thinking?
Well, this dwarven fighter over here just looks
useful.
I don't know. What does the dwarven fighter look like?
I think Bellin is like over like fiddling with a knife. Like she doesn't have a dagger, but she's playing with a knife from the tavern, like, you know, doing the thing where she's got her hand splayed and is very slowly doing the thing. How do you describe that, where you're trying to hit the wood between your fingers and not
I think of it as the thing from Alien, but I know it's
it's
more than.
Is it Mumbledy Peg? Is it not Mumbledy
That's not Mumbledy Peg, and it's aliens. Not aliens.
I wasn't sure.
Okay. I think Mumbledy Peg is the thing where you throw the knife at the ground near your foot without getting your foot.
Oh no, that's what she does unintentionally.
Oh, okay.
I think Nyasa's going to go over and offer an actual extremely sharp dagger. You know, if you want to sort of, if you want a real one to play with, there you go.
All right, I've consulted Wikipedia. There are several names for this game. I will tell you, the one that is the title of the article, this is extremely disappointing, is simply called The Knife Game. The more exciting names include Pinfinger, Nerve, Bishop, Knife Fingies, 5-Finger Fillet, abbreviated FFF, or Stab Between the Fingers game.
It's called Bishop just because that's who did it in Alien.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Is that why it's called that? Okay,
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Or they named the character
Knife
Bishop
Fingies.
after that.
Yeah, knife fingies. So yeah,
All
5-Finger Fillet has some nice alliteration to it, but it's mainly known as Knife Game. So yeah,
Knife fingies.
We've fulfilled the educational component of this required hour.
Well, I hand her over a knife and say, I don't need it. It's yours.
Oh, nice. And now Bellin's doing it like fast, like for real, because she knows it's a fast knife and, you know, or not a fast knife, a sharp knife. And, you know, dull knives are always dangerous and the tavern knives weren't that great. So she's in it to win it now.
Bellin, do you want to roll sleight of hand to try and impress Nyasa?
Sure. That's a 21.
Wow. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, you're rocking it. I was prepared for you to damage your hand.
I'm decent at sleight of hand.
Yeah, I was thinking about what die I was going to have I was like, this is at least a D4 plus 1 damage to your own hand. Well done.
A D4 plus 1?
Yeah.
It's a dagger.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, how many fingers do you want to have left at the end of it?
Yeah.
2. This is happening, I got up and I'm sort of like sidling over to look out the windows to see what's happening. Like if I can get a better look of that.
Yeah. perched right on kind of the windowsill is a Kakara. You would recognize it as a raven, a large black bird, black feathers, black beak, black feet, black eyes. That seems to be somewhat agitated or animated, trying to peer in to the hearth, and I guess seems to be kind of looking back at you.
I give the bird out there sort of a nod and to acknowledge them and sort of say hello.
The bird returns the nod.
So what is going on with all of these ravens? I've noticed they seem more present than I would expect here. Is that normal for Candlekeep?
They might have migrated here for the winter.
We think this bird is following up on a book it dropped on me.
Oh, is that a thing birds do here?
I'm going to say yes. It's only been done by one bird that I know of, but that it has been done by a bird.
I mean,
Okay.
we're at Candlekeep. A lot of things do involve books.
It's true.
I think we need to go outside right away and talk to this bird.
Yes. Hey, would you like to come with us? This will be a treasure map quest later on.
Yes, it's
I mean,
not
sure,
all life
I'm-
games and talking to birds, but
I'm curious. I had an adventure with a guy who was obsessed with cats not too long ago, so might as well move on to birds now.
Yeah, work your way
Great.
down the food chain.
Mhm.
The five of us go outside.
All right, the court of air, the big courtyard in the Candlekeep Library is always kind of a bit of a bustling place, but it is also a kind of wide, expansive courtyard. And you see various patrons and staff from the library coming and going across the court of air, doing various chores and whatnot. But kind of perched on a barrel, a short distance outside the door to the hearth, is a raven looking at the five of you somewhat expectantly.
I greet the raven by saying, "Hello, friend," in bird talk.
Okay. Annette, what does that sound like? Thank you.
Caw-caw.
The raven greets you in return. Caw-caw, caw-caw.
And I ask, what are you doing here? Have you you seem to be trying to get our attention at the window. Caw-caw, caw-caw, caw-caw.
Caw-caw, 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 caw-caw. The raven replies, my name is Haluth. Should I do a raven voice when I'm I don't know how to do this because obviously I didn't think about this ahead of time. The raven makes raven noises. Do I do a raven voice when I'm translating from the raven?
Ravens
I don't
can
know.
talk, like in this world,
Mhm.
ravens can talk.
Yeah, but the raven is responding to Kakara, who spoke to it in bird.
All right.
So it's
We're more
the raven is
comfortable in
speaking
bird.
in its native language. I'll do a raven voice because I'm committed. Greetings. My name is Haluth. I need some help with something, and I think I can make it worth your while.
I want to hear more about this, I say back in Raven.
Caw-caw, 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 caw-caw. There are some freeloaders, some people squatting in my house, and I need them to go away. But also there's some treasure there, and I'm thinking maybe if you follow that map there, you'll find the house and make the people leave for me.
This seems important. And I will ask my friends, perhaps we can talk in the common language so they can all understand us.
Everyone else hears the raven say, okay.
Oh, great. That's. Why didn't you say something when you dropped the book off?
The raven kind of shrugs.
just trying to be mysterious.
All right, that's fair. I'll buy that.
That's not how these things work, says the raven.
So could you tell us anything about the people that are occupying your home? Like, are they immune to any particular kinds of attacks that we should know about before we go there?
I just need them to leave.
Are they big, small?
About your size.
Okay.
You have a house?
Yes.
Wow.
Why
really?
wouldn't he have a house?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, is it a human-sized house?
I guess so. Yes, that seems like a strange question.
Well, I'm just wondering, like, who built it? Was it built for the use of ravens or for the use of humanoids?
Oh, well, I think it's been in my family for a while.
All right, I'm sold. Let's go.
there might be some more like pertinent information I think we can get before we just.
Well, go ahead and ask for it then.
Well, I tried. Any ideas of the numbers of people who are in your house?
If you survive the journey, I'm sure it'll be no problem for you.
Okay.
Is
are
there
some-
evil on the way to this house?
There's evil everywhere, the Raven says mysteriously.
Wow, so gothic.
Where is this a map to?
It's a map to the house.
Where is the hand and horn?
Oh, well, I would start at Whichway.
This way?
Which way?
Whichway?
What way?
Whichway? The Raven pecks angrily at the Townley. I assume you're holding the map.
Yeah.
And you notice there is kind of a little town labeled Whichway at the top of the map.
It's spelled Wytch way.
Yeah. Yep. Whichway?
All right. Well, where's which way then?
You'll figure it out. The Raven kind of flaps up into the air and kind of circles around your head a couple times.
Hmm.
I don't want to do everything for you.
You don't want to do anything for us. You want us to do everything for you.
What?
Hey, I gave you a book, buddy.
It is a good book. I'll give you that.
Do you know who wrote the book?
I don't.
All right.
Um,
well,
So do we know where which way actually is?
Does somebody want to roll maybe some history on the local area?
I will do that.
I rolled
I got this. I got a 1.
4.
I got an 8.
I might as well roll given.
Oh no, I got a 3.
I got a 21.
I got a
All
2.
right.
Thank goodness.
Townley, you know this area well, and though you've never been there, in fact, you're not really sure if it's a town anymore. There used to be a little farming hamlet called Whichway. It's a couple days travel. It's over some kind of less traveled terrain from Candlekeep. It's a little bit in the wilderness, but basically it was kind of like a little farming town that set up and then kind of became a ghost town. You've seen it probably
Spooky.
in some old maps of the area of in and around Candlekeep. So it's an abandoned farming town. It would have been small. And I would say with a 21, you know how to get there. You're not familiar with any of the other landmarks on the map, the Hand and the Horn, Three Tree Hill, Scorch of the Red Worm, etc. But it seems like this house that the Raven is directing you to must be within the general area of Whichway, and that these local landmarks would help you navigate from Whichway to the house in question.
Oh, which way? I thought this said which way.
Well, it's one of those things where certainly you have never seen anyone or never heard anyone speak that town's name out loud. You've seen it in writing several times, right? Classic nerd problem.
Yep.
So
How
Oh,
far
we
is it as the crow flies? Or the raven?
it is probably 2 days as the crow flies. It might be 3.5 days as the adventurer trudges.
Well, we should
bit
make
out
sure
there.
that we have the right supplies for such a.
And so you do. You are at this point level 3 seasoned adventurers.
As
you
Nyasa finishes saying that, we cut to us all just immediately equipped.
Can we not have an equipping montage to some
there's
power music?
packing rations into things, putting knives in sheets. I don't really
Coming out of
making sure-
dressing rooms in different hats
Yeah.
while the other people give thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah,
capes.
coiling
We're trying
rope.
capes.
Yeah, capes.
There's a lot of
No
buckle
capes.
snapping.
Yeah, a lot of buckle
Oh, yeah.
snapping. Thanks, Nick. Classic. So yeah, there's you are it is 12 minutes later, and you are ready to go.
And we're all wearing exciting hats.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are all wearing the greatest hats.
Mine has a feather.
Mm-hmm.
Whose feather?
Yeah,
It's
that's
mine.
weird.
Well, that's
I
okay.
took my own feather out and put it in my hat.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Is
It would
it,
be
or is
weirder
it-
if it was somebody else's feather.
Yeah, it's my own feather.
It's
mean,
like if I shaved my legs and then wove together a hat with that hair. I
Except
think
my
that would be weird.
feathers are much prettier than your leg hair.
How dare you?
I put it
I dare.
I put it to you that if you shaved somebody else's legs and made a hat from it, that would be weirder.
But it could be someone else's feather as an endearment, like a locket of hair.
It's true.
I was trying to think about how birds treat their own feathers, and I think they're mainly kind of oblivious to them. I think sometimes they might use a feather to build a nest, but like, I don't really know how intentional.
Hence the
that is,
expression
because they just leave
feathering your
feathers
own
everywhere.
nest.
So.
Well done. And
I
so
have
we
done
go.
it many a time.
All right, and so you go. This is the first trip out on the road for new adventures, traveling together. You are all seasoned level 3 adventurers, so you've been in the world a little bit, but there's always that little bit of making sure that hopefully you have not set out on an adventure with any sociopaths or serial killers slash where are people on the lawful good to chaotic evil spectrum. What do you have ahead of you? And especially this is, you've got several days of travel. You're going to be in the wilderness. There will be no kind of, you are on your own. There's no authority figures or higher powers you can turn to beyond, whatever deities or demons have given you power, Queens of Air and Darkness and whatnot. And so you pass the days, trudging over some somewhat rough terrain. There's basically, there is a road that would have led to Whichway, but it's fallen into disrepair. And I think, Townley knows the map well enough to know that there's some kind of more direct routes you can take through some old game trails and whatnot. But it is, it's not the easiest trip over well-paved terrain. And certainly after you get a day away from Candlekeep, you don't see anyone else on the various paths and trails and roads to Whichway. Are there any things you want to do to pass the time as you're trekking over hill and dale? Any stories you want to share with each other? I don't know. What do adventurers do a thing where they like everyone share 2 truths and a lie about themselves as they to bond the party to each other and make them less likely to be murdered by assassins
definitely.
who are now pretending to be librarians?
Nyasa's got one. She's
okay.
like turns to Townley and goes, "Hey Townley, check this out. I just figured out how to do this." And she just like manifests from her mind these glowing daggers. It's like, I don't need daggers anymore. I can just create them with my mind.
Wow. That's amazing.
I never run out. It's great.
Do they last forever? Like, could you just sell daggers?
No, they're kind of like my mind. So if I stop concentrating on them, they go away.
That's amazing. How did you get this power? I got my powers from the Queen of Air and Darkness. Oh, she's so beautiful.
I just like was really obsessed about daggers, and then it just happened. I mean, I don't know where it came from, but I'm assuming that there's a whole bunch of other abilities I may have gained along the way.
What do the daggers look like?
Well, they kind of
Like, are they simple daggers, or are those weird daggers with lots of points and stuff that
I can do anything really is
Ooh.
how I feel in the moment. But at the moment they're just, they're fairly simple, but they're kind of like blue electrical kind of look to them. Just thought I'd mention
Did you
it.
also invent electricity?
Well, I may have known somebody that's made a robot panda, so I'm sure we've got electricity somewhere.
I've never seen those two in the same room before. I don't know. Okay.
I tell a rollicking tale about how I was once a detective, and basically I was this like saved everything and everyone, but also there were other people there. But I am clearly the hero of this tale, and it was very exciting.
I heard you rescued somebody.
We did rescue several people, also some children that a friend of mine tried to kill.
That
A lot of
seems
continuity in
unlikely.
this one shot.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're going for the MCU approach where we just mention like random characters every now and again, and
I just go
You know-
on about the Queen of Air and Darkness whenever there is a quiet moment. I'm just going on and on and on about how great she is.
do you have
There's the
pamphlets?
potential to reward the loyal Total Party Kill listener. We gotta get that sweet spot there though, because there's also the potential to infuriate them by failing to recognize our own continuity. So,
Somebody's probably got a wiki page.
no, they don't.
This is the
our
future
listeners
when
are-
they hear it. They might.
Yes,
Oh.
this won't go out for like 2 years, so
I think our listeners are important, successful people that don't have that kind of free time. Um,
I don't think you've looked at the demographics recently.
mm,
I sometimes also fly up and like do a big scan of the whole area to make sure
Mhm.
we're safe.
all right. You know, it is, you are in the wilderness, so you are aware that there are various other wild animals out and about, but they seem to be kind of giving your group plenty of distance. Kakara, but you know, you are in the wilderness, and it is not devoid of life. So, we'll say that several days have passed, and you have reached the former town of Whichway. I think I have a map that I will show you. And it is indeed a former town. It seems like no one has been here in quite some time. There's kind of just a kind of small collection of farmhouses that lay kind of in ruin. Some of them have kind of caved in places. There's some, I imagine, assorted kind of farming equipment, maybe some wagons that are kind of, rotting away here. It looks pretty desolate. A lot of the forest has kind of reclaimed what might have been cleared out here, but you have found Whichway without incident.
So this tells us that this map is pretty old.
Yeah, certainly. The depiction of Whichway on the map shows a town, and this is I think solidly a X town.
All right, well, keep that in mind for when we look for Three Tree Hill, because it's going to be like
Yeah.
Two Stump Hill or something.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Twin
go and
Pines
just
Mall.
stick my head in the ruins and just kind of have a look around.
Yeah, give me a quick perception check, Neural, to poke around in the ruins.
All right. Let's see. We're gonna get a 18. Sorry, 17.
All right, you are poking around, and it does seem like probably when people abandoned the town, they didn't take everything with them. So there's a decent amount of junk and stuff that has kind of rotted away. You find a jar, and it seems to have kind of like a preserved, dried up, tiny little fish about 2 inches long, floating in some kind of liquid. That seems, noteworthy among the other kind of rotting, deteriorating, dusty junk in here.
Okay. I take the jar and I bring
Mhm.
it back to the group and see, does anybody know what the hell this is?
Now we could try sticking it in our ears.
Do we know what it is?
Is it edible? Is what
Someone
I'm
could roll
wondering.
nature to determine if it's edible or not.
I rolled.
Roll a 10.
I rolled a 17.
10, you're really not sure. It looks old. 17, Kakara, you think that this is like a tiny little poisonous fish that someone has kept as perhaps for possibly medicinal use, but also possibly poison use. So as to the edible, probably not recommended. Certainly,
I don't
probably not kept
recommend
for
it.
its nutritional value, and certainly something that should be used very carefully, if at all, as an ingredient.
Well, I look at it kind of like fascinating, and then I'm just going to put it in my backpack.
All right, you have a dried, floating poison fish in a jar. Yeah. Anyone else want to poke around in the ruins?
Sure, why not? Perception?
Mm-hmm.
18.
You find on a peg in a closet a wig of platinum blonde hair.
I put it on immediately.
All right.
What is the style?
It is bangs, and I would say kind of shoulder length.
Yeah, I mean it's a change from the red hair,
Yeah.
but you know.
Townley, you feel confident that it would have been very stylish 85 years ago.
These things are cyclical. It'll come back in fashion.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
about due.
Yeah.
it's retro.
I am also gonna look,
All right, go for
and
it.
I rolled a 21.
You find you're poking around in the ruins of somebody's kitchen, and you find, this is somewhat strange, a wax hand shaped to hold a large cup. It seems like somebody's kind of prosthetic that they might use. That they left
These are all
behind,
oddly
possibly in a hurry.
specific.
These are things you're finding in the ruins of Whichway.
Well, we're just going to stay here looking until we find them all.
This is somebody's house. It's going to have specific stuff in it.
Yeah, I don't see the problem here.
These
I
people
offer
obviously
the
left
wax hand
quickly.
to any of you humanoid creature. I have like talons. I don't. Or
I mean, all of you,
for gripping.
I think all of you have the appropriate number of hands also. So it seems like, unless you,
Anyone need a
you know,
spare?
I'll
Yeah.
stick it in my backpack. You never know.
is this foreshadowing? So
I rolled a crit
for looking around. All
for
right.
looking around.
Yeah, you are poking around, and you find, it looks like there may have been some stuff that a child left behind, an old doll. The hair is kind of
I always
fallen
find the
away.
dolls.
Someone has applied makeup to the doll that has kind of stained it, probably decades ago. It does not look great in terms of the hair is kind of fallen out, but the makeup has just stained the kind of spherical wooden head of this sad little doll.
Is it haunted?
It does not appear to be haunted any more than any creepy doll you find in the trash.
Okay.
It
Oh.
does.
Standard haunting.
It does feel like we're playing a LucasArts point-and-click adventure game at this point.
Yeah, we're going to need this rubber chicken with a pulley in the middle of it for sure.
Reference
Yeah.
acknowledged. So, as you are poking around in the ruins, you hear kind of echoing through the woods and through the ruins a noise. It sounds kind of like a hooting noise. I don't know if I can do a good hooting noise, but I'm going to try it. Hoo, 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 hoo. Is that reasonable?
I'll take it.
I guess it does not seem to be kind of intelligent language in the language of birds. Kakara, you would
this is
recognize it as.
This is bandit signal hooting, not bird hooting.
Well, you do recognize it as Kakara. It's probably some kind of owl hooting. That was my intention with my hooting. I don't know how successful I was with that or not.
Are we saying that owls are just stupid in this world? This seems
Well,
a bit...
I mean, I think sometimes you might make noise that isn't necessarily,
People think they're wise, but they're not. They're
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
say-
you can without seeing this owl, you can tell that this owl is not wearing a graduation hat. That's what I'm saying.
I say, who's there?
The owl hoots back. Woo, woo, woo. I'll come to you, says the owl, or I'll come to you. I say it in a slightly more owl voice.
Like, whoo.
Kakara, I'll assume that you kind of emerged from the ruins or are looking around.
I did. I'm
when
looking for this owl.
Yeah, in the direction of that you sense the owl coming, which we'll say is to the north. A large creature comes through the underbrush into the clearing. This is not what we would traditionally think of as an owl. This is a large creature. It's about the size of a bear, huge, fearsome claws, but what like kind of an owl face and beak, where you would see the face of a bear. Seasoned Dungeons and Dragons players may recognize this character as an Owlbear.
Wait. Slow
my
down.
favorite
Slow
kind of
way down.
This is too complex for us. It's an owl and a bear?
And Kakara, though you were capable of communicating with it, this owlbear looks hungry, perhaps angry, and looks like it's ready for a fight.
I get out my talons and say, what do you want? In my
to eat you.
like, I warn.
What did he say?
the
What did
crew.
he say?
I say he wants to eat us, and then I like get my talons and threaten him, her, it.
All right. I have rolled initiative for the owlbear.
What's that have to do with us?
Well, nothing. I mean,
we're still
I rolled a
negotiating
7.
here. Or at least I hope we are.
I rolled
Ooh.
initiative
Clear-
13.
No honor amongst birds.
it's going to be a lot of birds in this adventure.
It's an owl bear, not a proper bird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I rolled a
All right,
20.
Bella-
So
Ellen.
racist to other birds.
Mhm.
Bellin got a 15. Kakar got a 13.
I got
Nyasa got a 17. Townley got a 20. Neural got a 7. All right. So Townley and Nyasa, you are going to get to react before the owlbear lunges into battle. Then the owlbear goes. Then Bellin, Kakara, and Neural at the end. Everyone good?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Aline, I see your message here about 10 minutes left. How long ago has that message been there?
Just now.
Okay, let's do one round of combat and we'll see where we are. We may pause mid-fight for a break before we go on to our next episode of the afternoon. All right, just some logistical things there that Erica may or may not cut out. Townley, you have rolled a 20. You are top of the order. There is a large bear-like owl creature. This is technically a monstrosity. That seems unkind. Crashing through the underbrush in your direction. Yeah.
I would like to raise my hand and cast Fairy Fire on a 20-foot cube that includes the owlbear.
All right.
Each
The
object in
owlbear
this 20-foot.
occupies-
Yeah.
The owlbear occupies a good chunk of that 20-foot cube.
Yeah,
So
well-
it needs to make some kind of save.
If it fails a dexterity saving throw, then yes.
I have rolled a 13 for dexterity.
That is what you needed to get.
Oh, the
That
owlbear
is-
lunges out of the way of the fairy fire.
A shame.
All right. I have, I've got a simple map up here with some ruins and a clearing in the middle of them. Feel free to put your token wherever you think you would have been relative to the owlbear. I think I dropped your tokens in the middle of the map that may not correspond to where you think they are. So feel free to arrange them wherever you want. I think the main thing is probably Kakara is kind of out in the open and the rest of you may not yet be. So certainly the owlbear is aware of Kakara and at this point Townley. Others of you may have been more in hiding.
All right. Well, I will explain to Nyas. Go ahead.
Or just obscured by ruins.
Right.
I didn't have the intent.
I will explain to Nyasa that if that had worked, all attacks against the owlbear would have advantage, but it didn't work. So,
It was a good try.
yeah. All right. I'm going to run over here and hide behind this wall.
All right, you find a collapsed stone wall to hide behind. Nyasa.
So Nyasa's really pleased with her psychic blades, so she just shouts out to Townley, "Hey, check out these blades that I said I could do." And so she summons these like 5-pointed glaive things, and chucks one at the owlbear.
All right.
And rolls. Where's me psychic blades? +5 for hit. It's great. 19.
All right, you get the owlbear right in the shoulder on its front haunch. There's kind of, I think you get it kind of right at the owl to bear transition point. So there's kind of a feathers and fur go flying into the air.
And I do 3 + 3, 6 damage.
All right.
And then, with a bonus action, I summon another one and fling that.
All right.
And I roll 23, but I don't do as much damage.
Okay.
I do 5 damage.
All right. The owlbear has taken some damage. So the owlbear has kind of trashed its way into the clearing here, and I think is faced with a classic ethical dilemma. does it attack the bird that was talking to it in bird, or does it attack the night elf that has thrown 2 daggers at it? Let me just assess if the night elf is within range. The night elf is within range of the
I will
owlbear.
point out high elf. You know, you made some assumptions because of my gothic nature, but
oh yes, you have the word knight in your name. I think
I know,
what tripped me off.
but it's just
I know. All right, I think the owlbear is going to react to whatever has damaged it very recently, and kind of trundles past Kakara and rushes up to Nyasa.
Can I ask a question at this point?
Yeah.
Can Kakara make a attack of opportunity?
Yeah, I think it had to kind of go pretty close to you, Kakara. So if you want to swipe at the owlbear as it rushes past you, go for it.
I use my talons since I am.
Oh,
yeah.
And
you're so talented.
Critical fail. I was apparently very surprised by this movement and not at all prepared.
The owlbear may be oblivious to what you just did.
Am I able to do an opportunity attack?
I think Neural, it avoided getting too close to you, but the owlbear has situated itself where he is a short jaunt from you for when you want to join the fray.
I was so excited to show off my psychic blades that I forgot I had also a bonus action where I could have hidden as well. But
we'll probably remember that the next time you're getting mauled by an owlbear.
Yep. I mean...
All right. So the owlbear has closed with you, Nyasa. The owlbear has multi-attack. So let's see. I'm going to start with beak attack. So let's see here. I have rolled a 25 to hit. I feel good about that. So the owlbear just gets you right in the side with its horrible beak for 10 piercing damage.
Ow.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm standing, but
all right.
I'm not enjoying it.
All right. The owlbear then kind of rears up and swipes at you with its terrible claws. I have rolled a less threatening 14 to hit with terrible claws.
That will not hit, thankfully.
All right. You managed to kind of stumble backward out of the way as its huge claws slash at the air in front of you. All right. Bellin, you are next, followed by Kakara, followed by Neural.
Okay. Well, I'm just a short little dwarf with short little legs. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to run out of the ruin I was playing with dolls in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I guess that definitely doesn't get me close enough for a melee attack. So I'm going to pull out my crossbow and aim at it with a crossbow bolt. 21 to hit. Sounds like it'll hit.
An owlbear is a large lumbering target. It is not too hard to hit. So crossbow bolt right in the side.
Only 5 points of damage, unfortunately.
All right.
Don't think I can do anything else this turn, unfortunately.
All right. Kakara, I think you're next.
Okay, so I am going to launch into the air because I can fight and fly.
I will point out owlbear is probably not capable of flight based on what you've seen so far. So honestly, this is a bit of a flex.
The fight or flight reflex.
Yeah,
it is a flex because I can. That is an action, but then I have 2 weapon fighting and I can throw a javelin at this owlbear. And I rolled a 22.
Ugh, right in the side of this owl. You all are having, except for Fairy Fire, doing pretty good at hitting this owlbear. So, which is good because Fairy Fire would have given you advantage. And perhaps you didn't need it.
And I rolled a 7 damage.
All right. I will tell you, this owlbear has taken several hits, but still looks pretty sturdy. It's a big piece of monster, this owlbear. All set, Kakara?
Yes.
All right, Neural, you are next at the end of the round.
Okay. I am going to do a frenzy and a reckless attack.
Nice.
And so let's see. So with my great axe,
it's okay.
I roll 15.
15 will hit an Owlbear.
Okay. And we do 8 points. Oh, sorry, 11 points of slashing damage.
Ugh, you chop a chunk out of the owlbear's side. That owlbear is bloodied.
All right. And then I'm also going to attack with my mace. And I get 10.
10 does not hit. The owlbear manages to kind of evade that one. Do you have advantage when you're doing your reckless thing? I forget how it works.
I do, yes. Unfortunately, I rolled 2.
The 10 was with advantage.
Yes.
Oh.
Sad.
All right, so you are slicing and smashing, and you get a chunk out of it. So the owlbear is bloodied, which is, a good start for all of you. So I think that, that you are going to be able to defeat this owlbear. The question is, will the owlbear take anyone out with you? That would be a tragic way for us to start our adventure with player death, but I'm not opposed to it. It could add a little bit of zest to the thing. But will our adventurers be able to defeat the owlbear without losing any of their own? What other horrors await them on the travel to this house that a raven told them about? That's weird, right? Can we talk about how weird this is? Are we going to talk about how weird this is next session? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill. Live stream / bootleg. I think we will take a short break to recharge ourselves and then be back for some more Dungeons and Dragons very soon.
We are live again. People are excited.
Hi, live stream bootleg. We're going to get started in just a second. We're going to be starting in combat, which I feel like always gets us like we have to get going as opposed to like, what are we doing again? How does this work? All right, I'm going to start us off. So hold on. Let me just put you in.
I need to
order.
type in starting at.
Now. And everyone's still recording. I'm still recording. I say, yes, everything's right.
Yes.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindlar, a Dungeon Master. Today, we are continuing the Candlekeep Mysteries Adventure, Book of the Raven. Allow me to introduce our players in initiative order because we are joining them mid-combat. I'll remind you of what they are up to, and then we will get on with it. First up, it's Monty Ashley.
Hi, I'm Monty Ashley. I play Townley Mountain Taker, a warlock who's about to mess up an owlbear.
Next up, it's James Thompson.
I'm playing Nyasa Nightweaver, who is a high elf, not night elf, rogue. And she loved knives so much she can now create them with her mind.
Also joining us, Owlbear. Nope, that's an NPC/monster. Also joining us, Aline Sims. Hi, Aline.
Hey, I'm playing Bellin Greybeard, a mountain dwarf fighter who's excited to pull out her Morningstar and hit this owlbear. And our pronouns, she, her, for both of us.
Next up, Annette Wierstra.
I am playing Kakara, an Aarakocra, and I am currently in flight, ready to throw things at this owlbear, who you might think we would be friends, but we're not.
And last but certainly not least, Nick Scott. Welcome back.
Thank you. I'll be playing Neural, a human barbarian, and I am right now raging against this owlbear, and just ready to
throw
down.
down. Yeah. All right. So as mentioned, our adventurers are in the middle of a fight with an owlbear. How did they get in the middle of a fight with an owlbear? Well, they were given a book by a bird, and in that book, there was also a map. And honestly, the bird was kind of confusing and cryptic, but the bird indicated that the map would lead them to a house that the bird owned? Question mark? Do birds own houses? And the bird needs you to get some people that are squatting there out of the house as a big favor, and surely there will be treasure at the end of it, and the bird will make it worth your while. Why, of all people, have you been chosen to help the bird with this task? Only the bird knows, but the bird has sent you on this adventure. You have journeyed to the first destination on the map, the town of Whichway. Seems like the bird could have just taken you to the city, but to the house. But I guess it's like the bird. There's the how adventurers walk versus how birds fly. And I don't know. It's a whole thing. Anyway, middle of a fight with a owlbear. Townley, you are up first.
I'm going to Eldritch Blast this thing. Good old-fashioned Eldritch Blast. I rolled an 8 to hit.
You managed to Eldritch Blast a tree next to the owlbear. It is scorched and burning with Eldritch energy.
Ha! Yes.
The owlbear seems like, I got plenty of trees, it says, an owl under its breath. Hoo, hoo, hoo. That's what it sounds like.
All right, I'm going to back off a bit and go over here.
All right. There's plenty of rubble in the ruins of the abandoned farming town of Whichwood for you to conceal yourself in. All right. Townley, all done?
Yes.
Nyasa, you are next. You are hurting because a owlbear took a severe peck at you, but you were also right next to an owlbear. So good news, bad news.
Yeah. First of all, I think I'll give a sarcastic thumbs up to Townley.
Townley can't see it because Townley has successfully hidden in the rubble.
Well, it happened. Right. I
saw it.
Thank you. You can pass that one on. Well, I guess, I'm now, my one-trick pony is Psychic Blades, so Psychic Blades it is. We'll try attacking this owlbear, and that is a 16.
16 definitely hits.
Excellent. And that is a 1d6 plus 3. What? Dice with a panda in it. That'll do.
Are you including your sneak attack damage?
I don't have a sneak attack because I wasn't hidden.
You do have sneak attack because if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it, and you don't have disadvantage on the attack roll, you have sneak attack. You didn't get advantage on the attack. You do get sneak attack.
I
There's
don't
Neural's
know
right
how
there.
that's going to work with my additional bonus action on the
Well,
psychic
you-
blades.
You just
Doesn't it
get
just
to
give you
add
extra
sneak attack
damage?
damage.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
just
think it's. I think
Well,
you just get the sneak attack.
that
Yep.
sounds fabulous. Then let's do that. So I should have done that last time. That is an additional 8 damage.
I don't think you had sneak attack last time, Nyasa, because it ran right up to you, and now Neural is there helping you out. So I have not noted down any damage yet. What was the total, or what were the numbers I need to total?
Did I roll the actual damage from the
No.
things? No, I did
No.
not. Okay, well, whatever it is, I'm going to add an 8 to it.
That sounds solid.
I rolled a 5 plus 3, so that's 16 damage with the first one. Is it still alive?
All right. Oh yeah, it is hurting, but it is still alive.
I don't like the way you said that. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
It
Of
is
course.
completely in the binary status of alive versus dead. It is alive.
okay.
How alive is it? Well, we don't really know the inner workings of this owlbear, what kind of life it's led. Health-wise, not great.
Right. I'll try my bonus psychic blade that sort of whirls around and comes at it from
Yeah.
behind.
Now, I believe you can only do sneak attack once per
Once per turn. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
turn. Okay.
um,
So you won't do sneak attack on this, but sneak attack didn't cost you any bonus actions or anything, James. You just get it.
excellent. Well, that was 17.
All right, you stab the owlbear again.
I don't like this owlbear.
I mean, it doesn't care for you. You have stabbed it several times.
Well, who stabbed who first, really?
Guess he pecked you first. So
Yeah. Well, I did 7 more damage.
All right, the owlbear looks. There's blood dripping from
And
several wounds.
and I will hide.
Oh, okay.
You just used your
you will
bonus
attempt
action.
to hide.
Was
Yeah.
that the bonus action for the...
Yeah.
Yeah, you get one action and one bonus action.
Well, I feel I've been set up because I'm about to die.
You lived as you died, murdered by an owlbear. Well, the owlbear is mad at you, Nyas. It's true. So the owlbear's next. I'm not just interrupting the order. The owlbear is going to start with just trying to peck you to death. This is its beak attack. So beak attack coming in. Oh gosh, sorry, James. I rolled a 26. The beak tears at you for 10 piercing damage.
Well,
Are you up?
I am at 0 exactly, so I am lying on the ground.
All right. Nyasa hits the ground. The owlbear whirls around and sees Neural the barbarian also menacing him, and flashes back to 1 second ago when Neural opened up a giant wound in the owlbear's side, and the owlbear is going to try and return the favor. Neural, big swipe at you,
And you get advantage.
and I get advantage because you are raging. Thank you.
Yep.
That really made a difference because my first die roll not great. Second die roll is modifies up to a 22, which I'm guessing hits you at level 3.
Yes.
So the owlbear just swipes across your exposed shirtless arms, does a horrible gouging 14 slashing damage.
All right.
How are you doing, Neural, after taking 14 slashing damage?
I have 18 left.
Okay, so not great. Bellin, you are next. Nyasa is lying on the ground in a pool of her own blood. The owlbear badly damaged. Neural damaged. Townley doing great. Kakara
All
circles
right.
overhead, well out of danger.
Well, I'm gonna run up to this owlbear. I am going to hit it with my morning star.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a critical fail. I'm gonna cough a little, say I totally meant to do that. I was just intimidating you as I pull out my warhammer and roll to got a 13.
A 13 is the armor class of the Owlbear.
Wow. Okay. That is a mere 4 bludgeoning damage.
You know what? It's enough. You conk the Owlbear on the side of the head,
What?
and it kind of topples over
Wow.
and slumps to the ground.
Okay. I'm a little shook right now.
You're shook.
Did not think four would do it. All right.
You didn't know your own
cool.
strength.
I did not know my own strength.
A lot of other
I-
people had stabbed it before you got there.
That's true. I
All right.
wish that I could heal Nyasa, but I
So here is a question. Nyasa is badly hurt. You did set out on this adventure without, as far as I know, a cleric or a paladin or a bard. So I think probably somebody, even if you're not trained in it, could stabilize Nyasa with a heal check.
I would
and
like
then-
I have +3 in medicine. Can I give it a try?
Yeah, give it a try. I think you.
I
only
have
need to get
good
it.
berries, so I could give
Oh.
him a good berry, which should get him up, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, do
And
that.
I'd cast and have 10 good berries, so I could give up
Okay.
to 10 of them.
Remind us / James what you get for consuming a good berry.
So I can cast the spell and be like, 10 good berries can appear to my hand, and I can give them out. Up to
One
10 of
hit
them,
point.
which you might want all of them, seeing as you are. Right, yeah.
Each
what
good
do the
berry
good
gets
berries
And
one
do?
hit point.
each gives you 1 hit point. So if you eat 10 berries, that is
Can I
I'm-
suggest a short rest once he's up and he can spend his hit dice?
that seems like a good plan.
I would do that. Reminder that good berries are only good for a day.
Then what happens?
I think they just
They just-
turn into old berries.
Okay,
like the
it's
hit
just like
points.
I,
The
bad
hit
berries.
points last, but the berries don't. So you have to give them
Yeah.
out.
I just
sooner than
wanted to
later.
make sure that I wasn't about to die in a day, that I had entered into some weird bird pact that
You now owe your life to several birds. All right, so Nyasa, you are conscious. You are still badly hurt. Seems like your only choice here is to take an hour rest here. Doesn't seem like a great idea since you know you're in Owlbear territory, but you perhaps don't have any other options. Let us say that perhaps you try and find the most intact farmhouse ruins to take shelter in so that you don't get murdered out in the open by owlbears. And that would allow people to spend a hit die. So Neural and Nyasa, I think, are the only ones who took damage. So it's up to you if you're going to spend hit die,
I definitely
singular or
am.
plural.
Yep.
Also, if we hear any hooting, we're not going to say, "Hey, come get us" this time.
We learned a
Instant-
valuable
I'll
lesson.
try.
Bird calls come in a variety, in both friend and foe varieties.
And since I don't need a short rest, I can just like stay alert and
Excellent.
be the
I can do the same.
Oh yeah, and you could even circle overhead.
Mhm.
All right. So I will suggest that as you're doing that, you might kind of study the map a little bit. You know, the map is not this map that was hidden in the Book of the Raven. It is not a geographic, perfectly surveyed and oriented map. It's really kind of a visual of the topography. But you are able to find out from the map. There are several trails that lead into the ruins of Whichway. It does look like there is a trail leading out of Whichway to the west, which corresponds to a desired trail on the map that you found, Townley, in the book.
Yeah. Well, I'm taking the short rest, but I will say I think we should just follow the map as it says.
Okay.
Go to the
Mhm.
Hand and Horn, and then 3 Tree Hill, and so forth. So that'll be going west.
All right. So after an hour rest, Nyasa and Neural, you've updated your character sheets with your corresponding health. How bad off are you in terms of what you were able to heal up to and what you have left as far as I assume you don't have a ton of hit die at level 3.
So I am back up to 17 out of 21 hit points, which is not terrible. And in terms of... No, go away. Don't do that. It was suggesting that I have 2 more hit die.
That's right. You have 1 hit die per level.
Yeah.
Per level, so you have 3.
So...
Yes. And Neural, I assume you're doing okay based on you didn't take nearly as much damage.
Yeah, I'm at 27 out of 32.
Okay.
Neural, when you took damage, was it reduced by your rage at all? It was 14
No, I
points.
wasn't raging.
Oh, okay.
I was
Reckless.
in front. Or
Got it.
Multiple are
reckless.
things
Yeah.
that barbarians can do. All right. So, Townley, are you kind of leading the way as the current owner of the map?
Sure I am.
Townley, give me a survival check to follow to find and follow the path through the woods.
Survival. Okay.
I hope it's a tricky thing where I don't actually play D&D that much, so sometimes I'm like, that's probably a thing on a character sheet, right?
Yeah. A total of 4 with my +3 for survival.
With your +3.
Yes.
So you definitely...
I'm not built for the outdoors.
No, you're an indoor adventurer. So the bad news is finding the path and staying on the path is not easy. It probably was like a footpath or a game path in the past, and the woods have definitely reclaimed it. So there are several times that you find and then lose the path again. And it seems like probably you have not actually traveled that far from Whichway, but it has taken you several hours of wandering out in the woods before you kind of emerge and find the path again, Townley, as well as a clearing with a kind of strange rock formation that vaguely looks like a hand, and next to it, a much more simple kind of spire rock formation that I guess is the horn, as mentioned in the map. The directions on the map from here indicate that you would then, following from the hand and the horn, kind of head off southeasterly, looking for Three Tree Hill. But it does look like you're going to have to kind of, there is no path for a little while, then you'll find a path again. Does that line up with what you're seeing?
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. And so I assume that's what you want to do. It is getting, at this stage of things, unfortunately, you have not been making great progress. So it is solidly late afternoon at this time. It seems unlikely, if not impossible, that you would reach the house before nightfall.
Kakara, are you able to fly up above and keep an eye out for a hill with
Yes.
3 trees on it?
Yes.
That might help us know where we're going a little bit.
Okay.
If I fly, because I could fly above the trees, can I
Yeah.
see? Is it too far to see where the hill might be?
Fly up and give me a perception check.
Whopping 10.
You know what? I'll tell you that I think the choice to fly above the trees was a smart one. I think you're going to find nothing at ground level, but up above the trees with a 10, you spot in the distance a strange form. There's kind of a very steep kind of hill with 3 pine trees, kind of scraggly looking, ancient looking pine trees perched atop them, Kakara. And you feel confident, you might need to fly back up and reorient yourself, but you can lead them in a much more direct path than wandering just through the woods in the general southeasterly direction. It would take hours, if not for your ability to fly up and see that. So,
And I shall do this.
and so you do that. So you make quick journey over the next stage of the adventure here in the woods. Eventually you find near the foot of Three Tree Hill another path leading further south, but you have been kind of just picking your way over dense underbrush and wilderness for about an hour to get there. It is at this point solidly. The sun is setting, and I guess it's the question of, do you want to travel in darkness, or do you want to camp for the night?
It would be an advantage for me to camp because I am at 1 level of exhaustion right now.
Oh,
Good enough for me. Let's camp.
all right.
Let's camp.
Yeah, we're either going to get eaten by owlbears on the way or camping. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
This way we will rest. We'll be well rested when we get eaten.
yep. Well rested, assuming you don't get interrupted in the middle of the night. So you make a little campfire. You eat some of your rations. It's not too bad here. It's there's you scout around before camping for the night as in the last glimmers of sunset, Kakar, and feel confident that you are not in the immediate vicinity of an owlbear or an owlbear nest. And so we'll assume you set watch because that's a thing adventurers do, and are preparing to get your 8 hours of rest to fully heal up and start the next day fresh. Does that seem like a reasonable plan?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. That is what you're planning. Tell me, who might go first on taking watch?
I was gonna say Bellen's feeling pretty good, so she could, but
I can go
also
after. Kakara will go after you.
All right. So Kakara, it's the middle of your watch. It's solidly the middle of the night. It's dark. The forest is, it's got a little bit of a buzz to it with insects and birds and whatnot. And then things go quiet. And I will say you're very good you're a very perceptive creature, right? You notice that suddenly things have gone quiet. Perhaps we could say too quiet.
Too quiet. I alert my party very softly.
All right. So everybody is kind of awoken by Kakara.
I would at this point like to remind you that I can see in total darkness,
All right. Excellent.
but not dark vision. I don't have dark vision. I can see in total darkness,
But
not
not dark.
very, very little light.
I do have dark vision, and I would have probably been a good person to be on watch. But
Do I now have to figure out, Townley, what stage of the moon it was and whether that throws off your total darkness?
That's right.
I just have good hearing.
All right.
I
Hold
have
on.
dark vision too.
All right.
I cannot
I'm
see
gonna-
in total darkness.
I'm going to roll a d20. The higher it is, the more moonlight there is. The lower it is, the less moonlight there is. This is the thing I'm doing here. I rolled a 15. So it is it's like a 3/4 moon. So it's a reasonably bright evening here in the woods. You've got a lot of overhead shadows from the trees, but you can see the sky with the stars above, and you can see a decent distance out into the woods around you. Even with your, I would say anyone with dark vision is aware that there's something kind of stomping through the forest from the north in your approximate direction.
Can I take off a bit off the ground to see if I can get a better view
Yes.
of who is coming?
Kakara, you've launched yourself into the air. Give me a perception check. It's going to be challenging to figure out what's going on given the darkness and the density of the forest in this area.
And that is why I roll a mere 8.
I will tell you all that you're aware of is it seems like more than one thing, and it is headed in your direction.
question: did we get anything for half of a long rest?
I do not think you get anything for half of a long rest.
I think, do we have, we want to just try and hide here and see if this thing passes through the clearing?
Oh, that's a great idea. Hang on.
Some
will
of you I
cast
could help get into a tree.
Hang on. I'm going to cast darkness.
What does darkness do?
Well, magical darkness spreads from a point I choose, which will be where I'm standing, to fill a 15-foot radius sphere. It spreads around corners. A creature with dark vision can't see through the darkness, and non-magical light can't illuminate it. So this is complete blackness.
Might
Now,
we
I
be
can
at a
see through it.
tactical disadvantage in this?
No, because now we're hidden.
I could have
So
just
I'm
hidden
thinking
in that
we
log.
go like behind trees and stuff, and with the darkness, then
Okay. I like
I,
this
I
plan.
think whatever's seeking us has dark vision so they can see, but
Yeah.
under darkness they can't see. But I can see everything.
So
how-
you're basically the only person who can see here. So you're going to have to
That's right.
direct us.
That's right.
Okay.
It's a perfect
I
plan.
think it's worth a shot.
throw-
Yeah,
All right.
let's do it.
Throw daggers in this direction.
So Townley, you cast magical darkness on you.
Yes.
Sorry, you said the number and I missed it. How big is the magic?
A
darkness.
15-foot radius.
All right,
So we
it's a
should all
circle, I said.
snuggle up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Group hug.
Stand near me. I'm going to cast darkness. Everybody just be very quiet, and we'll hope they don't come into the darkness to find us.
Okay.
All right. So, and you can see out of the darkness, other things can't.
Right.
So, Townley, you'll see what's about to happen, right?
You'll see how
All
we
right.
died.
No, Townley, you see several creatures kind of crash through the underbrush into the clearing where you are. So it seems to be two large dire wolves enter the clearing first. They're kind of loping in and they're sniffing around and poking into things. I don't know. Would it be safe to say that your 15-foot circle would not have encompassed all of your personal possessions that would have been laid out for sleeping, or do you think you were able to get all that? What do you
I think I was able to get it. It's 15-foot
Okay.
radius. That's 30 feet from side to
Okay,
side.
you're right. That's big. Okay, so it is your camp.
Yeah.
Is encompassed. Now, do these wolves that have crashed into the clearing, do they just see a big cloud of darkness there?
Yeah.
Okay. The wolves
And they can
Uh,
smell
and-
us.
the wolves can clearly smell you, are smelling the air, but seem confused because they can't see you. So they smell something they can't see. The wolves also, strangely, this seems very strange for wolves, have chains around their necks. They have collars with leashes, and the leashes lead back away, and then crashing into the clearing behind them, holding their leashes, is a large. Let me just make sure I get the species of this creature correct. This seems to be an ogre, so a large, lumbering humanoid creature, kind of garbed in a loincloth. In one hand, he's got the chains for his leashed wolves. In the other, he's got a big kind of improvised club that he's carrying, and he's looking around, confused by what his why have his wolves stopped here, and I guess he also sees the magical cloud of magical darkness and kind of stops to see it, looking somewhat dumbstruck. Fourth, entering the clearing, a couple beats behind them, is a, I'll say, kind of disheveled, reluctant, sheepish-looking goblin. He's carrying a crossbow, and he comes in too, and it says, "What's going on? Why are we stopping?" And the ogre points, gestures with his club, I guess, to the sphere of darkness in the middle of the clearing, and the ogre says, "What is that?" The wolves at this point, I think, are probably kind of circling the cloud of darkness, sniffing at all of you, but not wanting to touch a cloud
I'd like
of
to
darkness.
tap Nyasa on the shoulder and kind of point him towards the ogre.
Okay.
Important question. How long does the cloud of darkness last?
This could change the nature of this battle quite significantly.
Yeah.
Concentration up to 10 minutes.
Okay. Very long. Well, in combat, an eternity. In waiting out these creatures, not that long. So, all right. So, I don't think we're in initiative yet, unless you tell me we are. But Nyasa Townley has kind of like pointed you in the direction of the ogre.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm quite happy to fling magical daggers.
I think that you have disadvantage when you're flinging a dagger at an ogre that you have been directed to, that you can't see. That's just me and my simple country dungeon mastering ways.
I mean,
I
that's
don't
fair.
think we want to do anything just yet. I think we're like, let's stay hunkered down for the moment.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
okay. Let's give it a minute and see what happens, and then I can always fling daggers.
I would just
I-
as soon not fight. Like, I don't feel like we're in a
Mm.
great,
I,
great condition.
I also think if we can break the chains of these wolves, we might get some new friends.
The wolves continue to circle your hunkered down cloud of darkness. The ogre paces back and forth. The goblin says, I don't know. This is weird. I don't like it. And the ogre says, "This my woods, not like inky darkness. Should go away. Fire crossbow into inky darkness." He orders the goblin. The goblin fires a crossbow into the inky darkness. I would say that there's enough of you, and he is not aiming for anyone. That give me a dex check. You just need to beat a 7 to not get hit by a stray crossbow bolt that you see coming.
I got
Only
21.
all right,
15.
Have to beat a what?
7.
Oh,
I rolled a
I got an
7.
8.
Yeah, okay.
I got
No,
a
you do okay?
13.
I only got a 7.
All right, that 7 was the number you needed. Nyasa, I think you rolled the highest of the 21.
Yeah.
I will give you the option to catch it if you're so inclined, or just let it go past.
I'm going to catch it because that might,
All right, you catch the crossbow bolt.
might spook them. Like whatever goes into that never comes out.
What
Um,
if I fly out of the top of it and then fly away and see if I can like lead them away from us or distract them?
Okay. I will remind you, I think I've already kind of mucked it up. Only Townley can see out of the cloud of darkness. So Townley knows what's going on. The rest of you, I think, have to play a game of telephone with Townley to know exactly what is going
Well,
on.
they heard
Yeah.
him say fire crossbow into darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you knew that was coming.
I can,
And I would say that you probably have the ability to whisper amongst yourselves about what you want to do.
so I have the ability to telepathically communicate with a person of my choice. So I am going to like create this telepathic connection with Townley. So basically, I would say what he sees, I can see.
Real trustful situation.
Does that work, Tony? Can I?
Yeah, why not?
I will communicate what I see to him, but it all seems magical and really weird and trippy. Like
I mean,
you're
that's-
seeing the world through my magic eyes right now.
It's like, finally, I understand.
It's all fractal and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
Lots of paisley too, for some reason.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
For-
I
for
still
the
think I could if I fly upward and then like
Mhm.
make lots of noise and make it, maybe they'll just think I was the only thing in it and they'll like follow me
You're
and
certainly
they can't
welcome to
keep
try
up
that.
with me. That's what I want to do. I'm going to fly and then I'm going to fly to the east. So I kind of
Okay.
like straight up and then east and I'm like, rah, 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 and making lots of noise and
Calling
try to
them
like
names and
pull like, yeah. And
All right.
I can throw a javelin or two as well.
All right, Kakara, you launch yourself straight up. As you clear the darkness, you start making all kinds of noise. The ogre, goblin, and wolves plural are definitely aware of you. I think the goblin will take a shot at you with a crossbow. You're going to throw a javelin at a creature of your choice.
I rolled a. Sorry, just gonna look at. I rolled a 13.
Who are you attacking?
I'd say I'm gonna hit
Armor classes.
the goblin since he's the one with the.
All right, the goblin avoids your javelin, fires back at you with his little crossbow. He rolled a 14. Does that hit?
That does hit.
Oh, he clips you with a crossbow bolt, gets you on one of your wings. It's only gonna do. Well, I said only. It's gonna do 5 piercing damage. But we'll assume that you keep going, so you can go up, so you're out of range of him pretty quickly. Do you want to give me like a performance or some kind of check, because you're trying to draw their attention away, right?
Yes. Let's do. And I roll a 1 with my that I roll a 2, but I lose 1 because apparently I'm not very performative.
All right. So what's going to happen is the wolves are going to take off after you, and we'll say that you want to lead the wolves. You know, I don't know. Often a good distance. You said to the east, so you're going to take the wolves off to the east. The wolves are following you. The ogre and goblin stay put. I think basically waiting for the wolves to return with your corpse, but you're not going to let that happen.
No, I'm going to sit in a tree and taunt the wolves.
All right. How far away do you want to go? Like a mile?
Yeah, let's say. That sounds good.
You fly away into the night, a mile away, land in a tree. The wolves are yelling at you, howling at you from the base of the tree, scratching at things, trying to climb the tree, but not really being able to do it. The ogre and goblin are back, a mile in the other direction, are still standing there kind of waiting, looking at the shadowy darkness. Now, I think we are placed with a challenging here thing in terms of the shadowy darkness lasts for 10 minutes.
That's correct.
Let me ask you a question, Kakara. You know that. How far how many minutes did you want to travel east?
Let's say like, I don't know, 2 minutes.
5? Okay. Yeah. Less than 5 minutes, and then you round trip and come back. So maybe you didn't make it a mile. I don't know how fast you fly, but I'm going to say it sounds like you have, through powers of deception, removed the wolves from what's about to happen, which is, I think you basically return to the clearing at approximately the time, Townley, that your spell wears off, unless there were other things that you wanted to do while waiting for Kakara to return.
Well, I have a psychic link for 6 hours to Townley, which is going to be an experience. But I feel that we should be able to, at least between Townley and me, attack from the darkness.
Okay. Neural, did you have an idea that you wanted to share too?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I just come running out of the darkness, is that a surprise attack?
Yes. I'm surprised. Yeah. So Nyasa, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a free attack on one of the targets. They're probably then going to try and take cover if you're going to throw daggers out of them. But mainly I was like, how much of a fight do we want to do that Annette is not here for? / do you kind of time it for when Annette is returning, or sorry, Kakara is returning to the field of battle, such that she can be your ally.
Okay.
So basically, like I would say, just as the darkness is about to fade, that's where I would charge out and attack.
Well, I can end it whenever we want. Like I could like drop and then we.
I think it gives us at least a cover for a return attack.
I think you can basically set it up so that you all, the ogre and goblin know something's going on here, but certainly they have no idea that there are 5 people in there, or 4 now, and certainly the exact timing of when you're going to appear from this. So let us say that you basically time it such that you all get a surprise attack on them. How's that?
That sounds
okay.
All right. So I am going to roll initiative for the ogre and goblin. They don't get to go on the first round because they are very surprised. And then, so you all get to go, and then we'll see what happens next. Ogres are slow at moving.
I rolled a nat 20, but I don't think that helps.
I'd actually like to keep the darkness up. If you guys want to leave the darkness, that's fine with me, but I'm going to stay safe inside it.
No, I'm with you. I
That's
feel
fine,
that my psychic link through your eyes is going to guide my daggers.
And I would argue that you're hidden in the darkness.
I would
we are the very definition of hidden.
Yeah. Can you be more hidden? So I'm seeing Nyasa at 23, Neural at 14, Ogre is 12. The Ogre has a name tag that says Scugs on it. Townley at 6. The Goblin at 5. Goblin has a name tag that says Gribble Snacks. Bellin also at 5. Kakara, what'd you roll?
I rolled 14.
All right.
Put that in.
I'll resort you there. And I would say by removing the 2 dire wolves from the equation, you have changed the odds of this fight significantly. Nyasa, you are first, followed by Kakara, followed by Neural. So Nyasa, you're going to do some kind of psychic blade attack.
Surprising, but yes. I figure if we take out Skuggs, Gribble Snacks is probably going to run away, or at least,
Yeah.
Okay.
or maybe even join our party out of fear. So, okay, I will attempt to attack Skuggs.
All right. So Skuggs is the ogre, big lumbering brute armed with a tree trunk, previous owner of 2 wolves that are a mile away.
Well,
They're doing great, by the way. They still think that Kakar's in a tree.
I rolled a 20.
That definitely hits the Skuggs.
Sadly, not a natural 20. And that is going to give... Well, first of all, I get 1d6 plus 3, which is 5. But then I also get 2 more d6. Do I?
Do you?
Do I?
I don't.
That's a question.
I don't know.
You were hidden, so you get sneak attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2d6. A 6 and another 6. Well, that's pretty good. So that is 17.
All right. Wow. Strong opening move
And
from Nyasa.
then,
And then
and then what you were least expecting, another psychic blade.
oh, okay.
Well, I don't think I can actually do anything else as a bonus attack, really, other than an actual
usually.
blade. But that's
No.
pretty boring. Who needs them?
Once you
It's
have
not psychic
blades.
at all. What's the point?
I know. It's like I barely even packed enough real blades. And I rolled not quite as good as 16.
16 hits.
Okay. And that's 1d4 plus 3, which is, that's an unreadable dice. It is actually a 4. That's 7 additional damage.
All right. That is a lot of damage on your
Nice.
sneak attack round. So Skuggs is just like a side of Skuggs is opened up and there's a splash of ogre blood onto the clearing. Skuggs roars. Ah! And it's Kakara's turn. You're
Yeah.
swooping in overhead.
I am, and I'm swooping in, and I'm going to give him a double javelin attack.
Double javelin.
Double javelin.
I have 2 claws. First one is 21,
That definitely
Nice.
hits.
and if for 3 points of damage.
Okay. Clips him in the
And-
arm.
The second one is 23
Oh,
for 7 points of damage.
gets him really good in the leg. He is like pinned to the ground by it. He pulls it out. There's like a spurt of blood. Scruggs is bloodied and super pissed off.
He's never gonna
Ah!
look at a black cloud
Yep.
again.
Rebel Snacks, murder that bird. The dark follow-up to follow that bird. Kakara, anything else?
No, that is my whole
All
action.
right.
I remain in a loft.
So, Neural, you are in the cloud of darkness, but Townley, I think, has described it to you, and you have heard the sound of an ogre being half murdered. You know, I imagine it's a little bit like a game Pin the Tail on a Donkey, where maybe Townley can send you in like the right direction, and then as soon as you clear the darkness, you see to your choice of ogre or goblin to engage with. They're both surprised to see a barbarian hurtling out of a cloud of darkness.
Okay, I am going into a rage,
Yeah.
and I am going to use my great axe, and I am going to roll a 15,
15 hits.
and I'm going to do 17 points of damage.
Wow. You tear open another side of Scruggs. Scruggs is looking real bad.
All right, well that's what I can do.
Okay. It would be Skuggs' turn, but he's surprised, so he doesn't get to go. Townley, you're nestled safely in your cloud of darkness.
I would like to attack with Eldritch Blast. I'm hidden, so I get advantage? Question mark.
Mm-hmm. Is that true for non-rogues?
Yes.
Okay.
What rogues have is the ability to hide
Sneak it.
as a bonus action.
Got it. Are you attacking Skuggs or Gribblesnacks?
Skuggs.
All right.
24.
That'll hit.
10 points of damage.
Skuggs goes down with a Eldritch Blast mark in his chest. Gribblesnack says, "Oh man!"
I will say, throw down your crossbow and take 2 steps towards him, so that the darkness is now right up against him.
Roll intimidate with advantage. Because you're a moving cloud of darkness that murders things.
Okay, I rolled a 16, which means that my result is 19.
Gribblesnacks drops his crossbow just as Bellin leaps intact. Bellin, there's an unarmed goblin and a dead ogre in the clearing with you.
I'm going to just to drive the point home. I think I'm going to fire a crossbow bolt into like the tree behind Gribblesnacks, just I want it to brush his ear.
Okay, and as we've already learned from your knife game play in the earlier episode, you're great at this. You're not gonna accidentally headshot Gribblesnacks. Do you want to roll something just to sell that?
Sure. Do you want me to do like an attack, or do you want me to do?
Give me a sleight of hand or a performance, one of those.
Okay, and I will do it with the dagger.
Okay.
And I'll do sleight of hand. That was a 10.
All right. The dagger hits it was not as clean as perhaps you liked it, but it funks into the tree next to Gribblesnacks. Gribblesnacks is very spooked at this point. Gribblesnacks has forgotten exactly what the Cloud of Darkness ordered him to do, but he will sit down and put his hands on his head. Do I want to assume that you are out of combat?
I think yes.
I think we should try and turn Gribblesnacks.
Now, I will say you probably only have a few minutes before those wolves return. Those wolves who you killed the owner of. So,
we freed those wolves.
Is that how the wolves will see it? It's unclear. I don't know, Townley. I don't know if you want to drop magical darkness or not. But Gribblesnacks has surrendered, and Scruggs is very dead.
Telepathically, I will say to Nyasa, I kind of want to just pick up all our stuff and leave with the darkness still over us for the 30 seconds that's left or whatever. What do you think?
I think that's a good plan. Let's just, sneaking is in my blood. Let's do it.
All right. Yep. I start picking stuff up and handing them to the other people in the darkness.
All right.
What about take the goblins' weapons too?
Yes.
All right.
I can swoop in and grab the weapons.
Yeah.
It's crossbow.
Gribblesnacks is there. He's got, a bunch of crossbow bolts. He's got a very rusty looking scimitar, and the crossbow's on the ground. Kakara, you swoop in and disarm him. He is extremely cooperative. I don't want to die. This is not my idea.
We could just tie him to a tree and leave him for the wolves.
So get out of here.
All right. Gribblesnacks runs off in the opposite direction. I'll make better life choices as he runs into the darkness. Somewhere else, wolves of unknown alliance to Gribblesnacks howl.
Narrator, he didn't.
So you have a cloud of darkness. You've got a couple minutes of that, so you can head off and put some distance between your current clearing and Gribblesnacks's knowledge of you. Well, really, he only saw he saw like a flash of a barbarian and a bird person. So it's not like there's not going to be like posters up with your faces on them anytime soon.
I'm just
Like
flying
in the
above.
goblin newspaper.
I'm flying
Yeah.
above the darkness, sort of
So
like
you're like
keeping an eye on things. I'm like,
All right, everybody, hold hands.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because
I'm
people
like,
can't
looks
see
clear.
as you crash through the underbrush, like walking into every tree and stump that you can find. But it seems like you have avoided these opponents. Nyasa, Townley, you lead them to perhaps another, not quite a clearing, but at least a place where you can kind of lie down again, and I guess try and get another couple hours of sleep. Is that the plan?
Yeah. How many hours were we into the night?
I think you're about 4
Sit
hours
halfway.
into the night.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
halfway.
So if we do
Yeah.
another 4, does that count as a long rest?
I think technically it doesn't, but we're gonna say that it does because that's how I'm running my game.
Great.
So,
That sounds good.
also, I don't think there's a huge difference whether the next day starts at at 6 a.m. or 10 a.m. because
Great.
So,
Then we do that.
you do that. So you wake up the next day. You're not totally sure where you are. You're somewhere within the vicinity of Three Tree Hill, but you did kind of head off under 2 levels of darkness, magical and normal natural darkness, somewhere in the night, searching for a place to find some cover. But you are fully rested, fully healed, I believe, unless there was something very horrible that happened to anyone.
When I drop the darkness, I immediately trip over something because now I can't see, but everyone else can.
Oh. Who left this tree here? But we'll say that it's the next morning. The birds are tweeting, the bees are buzzing, and it's morning here in the woods. Here in the
Phone's
woods that
away
have
from
tried
the
to kill
birds.
you. Yeah,
The owlbears are hooting.
the owlbears are hooting.
All right. Well, I guess we better figure out how to get to Three Tree Hill.
Yes, we need Three Tree Hill.
Mm-hmm. Well, you were very near Three Tree Hill.
Kakara
I
had
imagine that.
scoped it out.
I was guiding you.
Yeah, I think that clearing was in the vicinity of Three Tree Hill.
Well, in that case, we could just peel off and go southwest and look for the
Yeah. So what's the next destination you're looking for,
Wood
Townley?
The
Bridge.
Wood Bridge.
Yeah.
That should be
Um,
fairly obvious.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right. I'm gonna say that Kakara, do you want to continue to be the eyes in the sky? So you fly up. Give me a quick perception check. It may be harder to find a bridge than a hill full of trees.
But the river should be pretty obvious.
There are a lot of streams in this area, so yeah, that should be not too hard.
I rolled a 10.
All right. Well, you're following. You've definitely found the stream, and you see what looks like perhaps some kind of abandoned, kind of covered bridge style bridge, not too far from where you ended up spending the second part of the night.
Okay. I
Return to the group.
inform everyone and guide them
All right.
towards
So
it.
you trudge off through the woods. It's not that far a walk before you find an old, kind of covered bridge crossing not a stream. It's not really a significant river. It's a bit of a trickle at this stage of the seasons. But yeah, the bridge looks kind of shadowy and desolate. Certainly doesn't look like anyone has been through here in quite some time.
All right. Now we just need to go south to the Scorch of the Red Worm and then go west to the Foggy Moors.
Okay. I will assume that, traveling through the wilderness when you have someone who can fly continues to be quite easy. So, Kakara, if you want to launch yourself up into the air and give us another perception check.
24.
All right. You spot it perfectly in the distance. There is a hill that has kind of like the top of it is like blown off or something with like a weird scorch mark. There is no strange dragon-like cloud formation as depicted on the map, but you do notice that there is an area of the forest that the leaves have turned a lot more orangey here. It's less pine, more deciduous, and so you are able to guide the adventuring group through the woods without incident to this kind of weird cratered hilltop The earth here is all kind of black and red from some kind of unclear if magical or natural event in the history of this landscape. From the top of this craggy, scorched crater, you can see that the terrain to the west kind of transitions from forest into kind of swampy marshland.
I was still linked psychically to Townley for 2 hours after getting up, so I think I spent most of the journey looking at my hands.
All right.
Just holding them up.
Really looking at them.
And I'm looking over saying, I know. Thank you. That's what I've been saying.
I totally get it now.
I will say it by the time you reach that craggy.
You have to hold your hands
thing,
up to my eyes, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're seeing my hands. Like, I'm turning them round, so you're seeing the opposite side that I'm seeing.
Okay, sure.
By the time you reach the craggy hill, that has worn off, and I don't know if you're going to cast that again or not.
I'm going to psychically link to random people for the rest of the adventure every day.
I can give you a bird's eye view.
Is there anything that you want to do here? You could, potentially travel down into this crater, or you could just head west to.
Is it smoking? You said it's not smoking right now?
No, it doesn't seem to be smoking.
Yeah, let's go into the volcano. That sounds like a great plan.
Okay,
What could go
let's
wrong?
go.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Whatever was here was surely killed by whatever did this, so it'll be fine.
Sure. Okay, you scramble down the sides of it. It's unclear if the origins of this thing, I don't know if any of you as a geologist, was this a volcano? Was this the site of some kind of magical or extra dimensional impact? But the everything is kind of charred black and is like there's a lot of soot. Does not seem like any kind of signs of inhabitants or excavation. It doesn't look like anything or anyone lives or works here in the site of this burnt out crater. You're free to look around. It's pretty devoid of life.
I'll do a perception check to see if I can see anything.
So will I.
I rolled a 19.
You are able to find, what'd you roll, Kakara?
I rolled a 17.
Both of you find like a nice good sized chunk of onyx, kind of black crystal, about the size of your fist that you figure has got to be worth at least 100 gold pieces. So each of you has one of those.
Nice.
Well,
I
I'm going
rolled
to
a
look now
7.
too, just in case.
Yeah, go for it, Earl.
Let's see, and I roll a 12.
You find something and you think it's that, and then you pick it up and it kind of crumbles. It's just like charred rock. So
Fool's onyx.
you found charcoal. Townley, Bellin, either of you want to look around in the charred burnt rocks?
Rolled a
No.
7.
All right, you found a rock.
I'm keeping an eye out.
Yeah. All right. So there are some kind of precious gems that were exposed here, but it seems like nothing else of super interest. They does not seem dangerous here, but it is perhaps not the safest place to look at in terms of you're down in a, basically in a hole, and there's no easy path out of here where somebody to come. We'll assume Townley, maybe you're staying kind of up toward the ridge.
Yeah.
So that you're not all, that you aren't all just completely set up to be murdered here. But it does not seem like the greatest place to perhaps linger in terms of you're exposed and don't have any easy exits.
How far across is the crater?
Oh, it's big. I want to say it's 100 feet across.
Okay.
So when you're ready, you can scramble back up the sides and head west into the swamps.
I scramble up the sides and I use my psychic blade to cut the onyx into 2 halves, and I chuck Townley half of it.
Well, thanks, man.
You kept watch.
I do no such thing. I keep my onyx. I
Very
do
well.
fly instead of scramble.
Okay. Yeah, you fly up and around. So it's another hour or so travel down the hill and into the swamps. And Kakara, I'll assume you continue to do occasional scouting.
Mhm.
And you eventually spot in the distance a stone house kind of up on a hill. It looks like the landscape is starting to transition a little bit from marsh back into forest. and there's kind of a fancy looking multi-story house someone has built here out in the wilderness. Another hour's walk from the Scorch of the Red Worm. In total, you're probably less than a day's travel from Whichway. It is taking you a little bit longer than that, and that you spent a night outside, and there's your night got interrupted, and certainly the path took you on a path that used landmarks as opposed to a direct line from Whichway to this house in the middle of nowhere. But the sight of the house perhaps fills you with a sense of confidence that at least your destination is near at hand.
Well, should we knock at the front door and claim to be house inspectors?
Let's discuss this for a second.
Yep.
Yes.
Is the Raven here at all?
Yes, you have not seen the Raven since you left Candlekeep.
Okay.
But we know it's their house because it's drawn on the map.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
Probably want to do
that
a
is how ownership works.
scouting.
I was gonna say, what is
Spying.
like? Is the house in the middle of a clearing of trees, or
Yeah, I will take you to a map of the house and show you a little bit about what it looks like.
So we can knock on the door and say, this house belongs to a Raven, or we can knock on the door and say, hello, we have a treasure map. We'd like some of this treasure here.
Or
We'll assume that
Say
you
we're selling.
we could
Girl
be
Scout
door-to-door
cookies.
salespeople.
we'll assume that you would travel within safe distance of the house such that you can observe it without hopefully being observed yourself. This kind of things I offer to our players here. So you find like a little bit of a tree line and are peering down on it. The house is on like kind of a hill. The grounds around it, it does not look like anything has been upkeeped here. So there's a lot of like tall grass and things look kind of sad and desolate. The house appears to be kind of a 3-story stone structure. Oh, you know what? The adventure came with a picture of the house that I should show you. Bear with me a second. 3-story stone structure. It's very Gothic looking. It does look like there's part of the roof that is not doing so great, but it's kind of desolate. Does seem to be kind of a yard, perhaps with some gravestones in it, off to one side, surrounded by a wrought iron fence. There's not like a really much in way of a clear road or path leading up to the house, and everything is rather overgrown and desolate looking. I was looking for the art for the house while also describing the house at the same time, and I didn't do great at that.
You did fine.
I mean, worst case, we could all live here.
I'm guessing there's some good perches.
Yeah.
It looks very perchable.
I mean, the ravens might be annoyed at us, but maybe we could come to some kind of arrangement.
I expect that was a magical raven of some sort. Probably like a ghost. I'm just saying that because I see these graves here.
I mean, it is very sort of Edgar Allan Poe house.
There is something. Hold on, I'm just going to reload. Roll 20. That's what I should do every time there's acting weird.
I figure I can probably stealth around and have a peek in through some windows and stuff.
Ooh.
Given my roguish nature.
Maybe
I will say the window-
I can
The windows
like perch on the
look
roof.
rather boarded up.
So is that the windows?
I can peer into the hole in the roof, which is really an entrance.
while pretending to be a giant raven.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just a raven, just flying by, just a little bigger than usual.
You're just closer than normal.
All right, that sounds great. Why don't you two do some recon?
So did you
All right,
say
do you
that
see-
the windows were boarded up?
The windows do appear to be boarded up. Did at least on the first floor? Did that image of the spooky house
Yes.
come through finally?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep, sorry, I was
see the
being bad at
spooky
roll 20.
house.
All right.
Appropriately spooky. Okay, I'm gonna try and peer in that hole in the
All right, Aline,
Roof.
did that just pop up that we are at time?
A few
Or was
minutes
that-
ago, but
Okay,
There's
so
like
okay.
20 ravens
Let
in
us-
this picture.
are there? I did not
Yeah.
look closely at the picture.
That's what the 20 and roll 20 is for.
No ravens. No
Okay.
ravens in what you see before you. Those are curb ravens to get you in. And,
This
buy
is
the
a
property.
photograph that was
Yeah.
taken at a
At
more
the height.
raveny time.
It's the Google Maps Street View.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Thank
Yep.
you. What strangeness awaits them here in this desolate house in the middle of nowhere? Will we find an answer for why a raven has sent them here to begin with? At least they navigated that map, and we don't have to deal with that anymore, right? Are these really even questions? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill. Livestream/bootleg. I think we're going to take another little break, and then we'll be back, and they're going to explore this weird house, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I think the plan is we'll take a little break and then play one last hour and then be done for the day. Is that you are not going to finish the adventure today, if that was unclear. But you are making significant headway in the adventure.
Okay. Putting us
All
on
right.
the break.
Sounds good.
Live stream
Does that
is
work?
back.
Hi, live stream. Hi, bootleg. You get started in just a second.
The bootleg hears everything. The live stream
well,
doesn't
whatever.
see everything.
All right, let's do it. Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, he, him, Dungeon Master here to bring you yet more of Candlekeep Mysteries, specifically Candlekeep Chapter 3, Book of the Raven. Allow me to introduce our players. They will introduce their characters, and then I will remind you of what we are up to. Aline Sims, welcome back to Total Party Kill.
Hello, I am playing Bellin Greybeard, the mountain dwarf fighter, here to investigate some Raven House stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, our pronouns are she, her.
Thank you, Aline. I do think, the mystery of Candlekeep Chapter 3, Book of the Raven is, will the adventurers go on a adventure just because a bird gives them a book? And so
Yes.
far the answer is yes.
Mhm.
And I really appreciate that, everybody. Next up, it's James Thompson. Hi, James.
Hi, I'm playing Nyasa Nightweaver, who's a high elf rogue and who has the ability to psychically link with people, which is going to be interesting, I think.
Also joining us, it's Monty Ashley.
Hi, I'm Monty Ashley, he, him. I am playing Townley Mountain Taker, also he, him, a warlock in the service of the Queen of Air and Darkness.
Ooh, spooky. Also joining us, it's Nick Scott. Welcome back to TPK, Nick.
Thank you very much. And I am playing Neural, a human barbarian who's basically here to smash things, cause havoc, and generally just be there to absorb damage. And we are both he, him.
Thank you. And last but certainly not least, Annette Weirstraw.
I am playing Kakara, who is a Ranger Aarakocra of the Raven sort. So naturally, I think there's nothing strange at all about taking adventures from ravens.
Mm-hmm. So you have followed a treasure map, as given to you by a raven, a bird named Haluth, several days ago back in Candlekeep. The bird expressed that this map would lead you to the bird's house and that there were squatters there the bird needed taken care of. And that was good enough for adventurers such as yourselves. You've traveled through the wilderness, navigating by some landmarks, dealing with some troubles in the woods. You fought an ogre. You scared away a goblin. You confused some wolves. You murdered an owlbear. Just classic adventuring, dealing with the woods things. And you have now arrived at the outskirts of this kind of desolate house built in the middle of nowhere, kind of a Gothic 3-story stone structure. There does seem to be a graveyard. It looks pretty desolate. The windows on the first floor are all boarded up. And I think we are discussing how you will proceed next. Just to give you the lay of the land, I've given you a map here. You can see there's kind of a gloomy graveyard to the south of the house. I've done the thing where the house is kind of shadowed out because the map has the insides of the house, so you can't see it yet. There is a front door in kind of the northeast corner of the house. It seems to be the most obvious entrance to the house. The house is multiple structures, and you do have a person that could fly. We get into complicated things in terms of where my maps are, but that's my problem, not your problem. What are you going to do as far as figuring out things next now that you've arrived at this strange, spooky house?
So I had a possible idea to have a stealth my way over, and I want to try and look in one of the second floor windows.
Okay.
So my idea is with the psychic blades, basically I stick one in the wall, stand on it, put the other one in the wall slightly further up, stand on that, get rid of the previous one, and then basically just work my way up and then peer in the window.
How easy is it to balance on one psychic blade?
Well, my dexterity is extremely high.
Very, very good.
So I'm prepared to roll whatever dice
Okay.
you make me roll.
Anyone want to stop Nyasa Night Reader from doing this?
Look, I'm a rogue. I need to do rogue stuff. Otherwise,
Excellent.
I can't
Well,
just
while
be
he's
no.
doing that complicated thing, I just fly to the roof.
Well, you check out the roof and I'll look in the window.
Kakara, do you want to wait until he does that? And like
I
he
can
spends
wait.
like 20 minutes climbing up, and then you're like waiting at the top.
Yeah,
of the
I
wall
should
for
do
him?
that. Like watch him go up and then just
This is
fly
not
at the
going to
very
take me
last
20
minute.
minutes. This is
I will
like,
leave it till.
I'm doing this at a run. I'm just going up
All
the
right,
side
all
of the
right.
building.
And
There's a couple. I'm going to help you out here. There's a couple places where there are like small trees that have grown up next to the house, so you could even kind of shimmy up some of those.
No.
So you're not, and it's a house. It's not a castle wall. It's not like you're going to have to scale a fortification here.
I feel if I do it with the blades, it will look cool, and if I fall off, so be it.
All right. Nyasa, pick a side of the house that you want to climb. There do seem to be, I'll just tell you, there's windows on most sides of the house at most levels. So
I
you're going to
figure
see different things
if I
depending on
head
where you go.
into this sort of corner, I can possibly check out 2 windows if the windows go up to the higher levels as well.
All right. Give me, I think this is, give me an acrobatics check to do your ridiculous knife climb thing.
Okay, doke. Thankfully, I'm +5 on acrobatics.
is there a more compelling reason for this than I need to do rogue things? I mean, I can't think of.
No,
No,
absolutely
I mean,
not.
like,
it's-
I think there's a certain need.
He wants to look inside the window, and he's going
Yeah,
to
he
do
does want to
that
look in a window.
using cool rogue stuff.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, and probably backflip off the top and land in, when I come down.
All right.
No wasted motion.
Yeah.
And I'm just checking out because I do have another thing that if I mess this up, I can. Yep. Okay. I have a thing called a psi bolstered knack. If I fail an ability check, which with a skill or tool that you have proficiency, you can roll 1 psionic energy die and add that number to the check.
Sounds
So-
made up.
Yeah, but just in case. So acrobatics, 17.
All right. You scramble up the side of the house. Some of your colleagues may be impressed or not. And kind of perch yourself there. And we'll say you find a nice little part where you can kind of peer in 2 different windows. There's kind of a weird tower circular protrusion on one corner of the house. So you're kind of peering in there and peering in the other one. Give me a quick perception check.
Okay. Perception +1. 16.
All right. Looking in the window to the east, Nyasa, you're looking into a large circular room, and it just looks like it is cluttered with junk. It looks like possibly the room you're looking into has had some structural issues because there's just like beams and timbers that have kind of piled down in it. It looks like there was probably maybe some kind of staircase going up to an upper level that has completely collapsed into that room. So that room looks like it is just full of jagged chunks of wood. Impossible to tell what the original function of that room might have been. Looking north, you kind of peer. There's a window that's like, it was boarded up, but they didn't do as nearly as diligent a job on the upper levels. So there's just like, there's a big crack, and you can see a hallway running east to west, and then it turns and heads north. It looks like it basically kind of runs the entire length of the house, is what you can see on the second floor from your perch. Would you like to descend?
Yeah, I will do a sort of backflip and then do this kind of superhero landing with the one hand down.
Such a poser.
And then walk over and say, I couldn't see anything.
Okay. Kakara, you wanted to fly up somewhere potentially?
I want to go to the roof. You said it was a bit thin in places. And
Yeah,
peer
you
through the
fly
roof.
up and you fly. You don't have to do an acrobatics check to fly. Let me just see here. What's the best way to express this to you? I think I'm going to show everybody this map, but technically it's only Kakara who's seeing it. That might show you more than I want to show you. 1 second. Playing with Roll20. Everything is great. All right. So you fly up to the roof. There is one area that seems particularly open. Let me just make sure I get this right on the map. There's kind of, and it looks like it's probably above the section that Nyasa was looking into.
Okay.
There is the kind of circular tower part of the structure has had some severe structural damage to the roof. Possibly looks like not from wear and tear or old age, but like, I don't know, something happened. So yeah, you can kind of look in through there and see kind of, and it's exposed to the elements, a ruined upper story kind of loft area there. You see that okay on the map that I revealed to you? There are other rooms and chambers on the third floor that the ceiling is intact for, so you would need to like go to them, I guess, to see them.
Are the windows open?
You could probably find them. Yeah, I would say definitely there are some windows that are open that are just completely with no glass, no.
Okay, so I sort of peer in there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reveal. Let's say you can see some rooms up here on the. It looks like there's another area that does seem to be kind of more contained from the elements on the east side that you can't easily see in. But looking around on the other rooms, it looks like there are probably what might have been servants' quarters in the past, with some very old ancient beds. One room looks like maybe it was storage, but it's all been kind of open to the elements and kind of trashed and not well maintained, is what you see up here on the third floor of this desolate house.
What time of day is it?
I think it's solidly early afternoon.
Okay.
I'm wondering.
So
go on.
I was gonna say I fly down and I tell everyone that
what you've seen.
It's like it is quite a mess up there, and appears so far I can see no squatters in this house.
I wonder if we should try and remove all the coverings on the windows on the bottom.
Why don't we just go inside?
We could just go inside.
Let's go inside.
Yeah, but if it's full of vampires,
then now is the perfect time to do it.
Yes, but it's dark because they've covered up the windows.
I feel like we're not going to see a whole lot from the inside or from the windows, so I think I would vote for going in the front door. But of course, I'm a barbarian, so what do you expect?
We'll send you in first.
That's a good point.
And you can always break down the. We can just send you to the windows and have you break them down from the inside.
Neural, how'd you like to go over there and kick that door open?
I would love to do that.
It'll look cool. Go do it.
All right, Neural, you approach the front door. It looks like this had a kind of ornate, fancy carved door, but somebody has put in place iron brackets, kind of sealing the door. It's like it's barred now, as if someone has kind of permanently tried to seal this place up. So you could try and break those down, either just kind of kicking them in or using your weapons. It's going to require a substantial strength check to get through these reinforced doors.
Okay. I'm going to try and just rip the door. I don't know, like the gate. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So
is this fortification keeping us out, or is it keeping people in?
It looks conspicuously as a security measure for keeping people out of this house.
Okay.
More than keeping things in kind of mechanism.
All right. Well, I'm going to do a strength check.
Do it.
And I get 19.
All right. You managed to just kind of tear the gate off the hinges and kick in the door. It was not easy, but you did it. And you are now looking into a desolate looking cloakroom. Don't worry too much about positioning your tokens on the map. I think there's some scale issues with the map, but just to kind of illustrate what you can see there, that's this room that I've opened up here. So you're looking into a cloakroom. It's kind of the entryway into this this fancy house. Neural, you're looking around. You see there's rusty iron hooks line the wall of this foyer. Next to the hooks, there's like a shovel and a rake. There's a dusty cloak draped over a hook next to a round-topped door in the south wall. So there are conspicuously doors leading east and south from this foyer or vestibule or entryway.
When you say rusty hooks, like as in coat hooks or like
As in
spiked hooks?
coat hooks, not like
Okay.
torture dungeon murder hooks.
That's
No,
in the
just
basement.
No,
kind of brass or ornate hooks, as if people would leave their cloaks and coats here.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do just a quick, check out the cloak, do a quick scout of the room, see if there's anything interesting in here. So let's.
All right, you poke around. When you check the cloak, some moths fly out of the pockets, suggesting that it's probably been here for quite a while. But you do find a chunky iron key in the pocket of the cloak as well.
Oh, well, interesting. So, turning to my compatriots, what next?
Can I just really quick check these graves? Are they fresh?
Townley heads off and looks at the graveyard. Nothing about the graveyard seems fresh. It seems overgrown, desolate, weedy. Looks like a family graveyard. There's a name worked into the wrought iron fence around it. The name is Brantifax, which you suspect is a family name of the people who built this or owned this house.
Or the ravens that live there.
Yeah.
All right.
So Neural, looking around, I think just based on how houses work and architectural cues, it seems like the door to the south might be stairs down to a cellar, whereas the door to the east probably goes further into the interior of the house.
Well,
Neural, I think you've kicked in the door. You're leading the way.
Yeah, I vote we go east. Anybody have any questions?
Nope, let's do it.
I'm going to take the cloak and put it on just to look extra roguey.
It's very kind of you now smell like mold.
I take the cloak off.
I tell you to take the cloak off.
I take it off and I put it back on the hook.
It needs some dry clean would help here. All right, Neural, you head to the east. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, well, I was going to just listen at the door first and then
it is silent.
It is silent, and then I will try just opening the door.
Door is unlocked. It opens easily into a kind of looks like a den or a parlor. Everything is dusty. You see lots of recognizable shapes of furniture covered with drop cloths and sheets. There's a little bit of light coming in through kind of some cracks in the northern wall, some broken windows that are not completely boarded over. Lots of cobweb stretching between antlers and wolf heads mounted on the walls. Good number of hunting trophies here. There's a pale rectangle behind above the fireplace, suggesting that maybe a mirror portrait was hung there at one point. But kind of a fancy looking den that it's all desolate and cobwebby. You do see there are several obvious exits to this room. In the southwest, it looks like there's a hallway that goes. You see a door hanging open to the south that looks like it might go to a kitchen. And there's also a strange little half flight of stairs that goes up to some other room back to kind of the south west there.
All right.
I bet we're going to have to end up going into the basement, which will be a giant dungeon.
I'm kind of thinking.
Hopefully.
I think that's a good or likely outcome. Do we want to search the house or do we want to head down?
Let's look inside all the rooms in the house to make sure there isn't somebody up here.
But let's not split up.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna head over. I guess I'll just do a thorough digging around in the room, see if there's anything like the key.
All right, you are poking around. There's a fireplace, and there is in the kind of ash and embers of the fireplace. You pull out. It looks like somebody perhaps discarded there a pipe carved from a chunk of granite that somebody has left behind.
A pipe carved from a chunk.
Yeah,
of
a smoking pipe, not a plumbing pipe.
Gotcha.
To clarify.
I guess anybody who wants to take that, I'm not.
I'll take it.
Interested.
That seems like a Townley kind of accessory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go look down this hallway here.
All right. The hallway leads a short distance and into a kind of circular room at the base of this tower that takes up like one corner of the house. And it looks like here on the first floor, this large room serves as a dining room. So it's a big circular chamber, a couple boarded up windows around the sides of the room. Large oaken dining room table, 6 high back chairs. A lot of the chairs have kind of stag imagery on them. There's a gaudy chandelier hanging above the dining table. It looks like there's some water damage in here. There's puddles of water and moisture that have kind of seeped in on the south side where the windows were broken, and the boarded up windows presumably kept out intruders, but not the elements entirely. There's a very cold, empty-looking fireplace on the south wall.
Okay. Well, as usual, I'm going to go dig around and see if there's anything in this room of interest.
Okay. Give me a quick perception check.
Okay. 12.
Yeah, you were poking around. There does not seem like there's anything of value here. What is here is all covered in pretty thick layer of dust. It seems like this place has not seen any activity in quite some time.
All right. Okay, I'm going to go wander around and go through this other door on the other side into the kitchen space.
All right. So, Neural, you head into what you expected was the kitchen, and shocking surprise, it's a kitchen. A couple mice kind of scatter out of the way as you head into this room. There's a hearth. It's got some, it's black with soot. There's some ancient looking pots and pans on a stove. Does seem like there's a little bit here in terms of cupboards with, cookware and plates and even some basic ancient leftover cleaning supplies. This room does not look as desolate as the dining room that you just explored. It seems like there's not that thick layer of dust on everything the same way the dining room was.
All right. Well, I will give a thorough, going through the countertops and drawers and stuff and see what I can find.
Give me a quick perception check.
Okay. And we get a natural 1.
Natural 1. You find a bunch of dirty dishes, and based on the fact that the food has not completely, been eaten away by mice or turned into, just grime, seems like evidence that somebody ate a meal here, or at least brought dirty plates from a meal here somewhat recently, but you don't find anything of interest with a natural 1.
All right. Anybody else want to have a look around?
I'll have a go.
Yeah,
just a poke around.
Sure.
23.
Perception. Well, 20.
All right. You are poking around. 20. Nyasa, you find there's several cast iron pots in a cabinet, and you decide to poke your head and look in them. And somebody seems to have stashed their rations. There's some very basic kind of dry rations stored in a big cast iron pot. That seems a little unusual, but also seems like it's something that someone put here recently as opposed to decades ago. You are poking around, and Townley, and you find an ancient looking cookbook propped up on a shelf in one of the cabinets. And as you open it, the kind of contents of the cookbook just kind of fall out into your hand. It does not seem to be a cookbook, but like the shell of a cookbook. And you have in your hand a stack of paper money of currency that is completely unfamiliar to you.
Okay. What language is the paper money in?
Roll perception.
Okay. I should perhaps remind you as I go to roll perception that I can read all languages.
Okay, excellent.
20.
This seems to be some variant of Elven, and you are even able to figure out kind of what the denomination is. Hard to know what the conversion rate is. This could be a lot of money. If you're small amount of money or a medium amount of money. The idea of paper money is, I think, foreign to you.
Right. We do the sensible thing, which is carry around tens of thousands of gold pieces.
Yep. You are unbanked. Yeah. So, but there seems to be, they seem to be, you can read the kind of strange Elven script on them. It seems to be kind of like a variant of Elven, either like a dialect or perhaps whether it's just one that you've not experienced or one from long ago. But it seems to be kind of, like basically these are promissory notes from some kind of banking house in a Elven city or town unfamiliar to you.
Does Nyasa have any input into this?
Nyasa, you look at it. You've never seen anything like this before.
Okay.
Well, anyway, cool hollow book.
Yeah. The book kind of, it doesn't, it was more like it was not a very well constructed hollow book, such that you're not sure if it would fool anyone now that it's been taken off the shelf again.
I just thought of a joke for last episode.
Oh, you want to put this in now, and Eric can totally do this?
When Nyasa was looking at his
Twitter?
hands, it's because he's a high elf.
Yeah, I mean, let me tell you, when you hollow out books and store things in them, some people take that badly.
Yeah, well, it depends whether you do it in a library or a desolate house in the middle of nowhere. Context matters, James.
Can I read any of the cookbook?
The cookbook appeared based on the only kind of parts of that are intact that are left is the covers, which appears to be in common. It seems to be, it's a little kind of worn away, but it seems to be like 47 ways to prepare elk. Okay.
And how old is the book?
It seems to be about 125 years old based on the publication date in the inside cover.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping we're going to time travel at some
Kakara
point.
or Bellin, bold hopes to introduce here and do an adventure. I'm already ready.
I am going up because I like to go up that little
Okay.
stairway and see what's at the top of those stairs.
All right, they open into a little room. I'll just say that you listen quietly and then peek your head into the room. This appears to be a parlor. There is like a fancy table in the center of it. There's some overstuffed chairs kind of wedged into this room around it. It's kind of a crowded room. There's a cabinet along one wall that seems to be intact and full of little decanters and wine goblets. There's a harp in one corner, and a staircase in the northeast corner heading to the second floor. It seems like in the southeast corner of this room is kind of a pile of sheets.
I rummage through those pile of sheets.
Give me a rummage check. That's perception.
I rolled a 20.
There's nothing in the sheets, but with a 20, you feel confident that you can conclude that these sheets, somewhat recently, unclear how long, probably were placed over the chairs, and that somebody uncovered them to make use of them.
Can I also look in the liquor cabinet?
Maybe the harp as well. Yeah, there's a liquor cabinet.
I'm rummaging through it.
I'm going to grab one of the goblets and just kind of like tap it on the wall. And does it
makes
break?
it makes a nice kind of ding noise.
No, it's glass.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. I don't know what goblets are made out.
Lead crystal.
Oh, okay. It's lead crystal. It makes a ding noise instead of a ding. How's that?
Thank you.
And I just set it back.
Yep. Yeah, there is a glass decanter of several kind of amber-looking liquids. No labels. Kakara, but
I'm going to take a sip out of one of the decanters.
Yes.
it's oaky. It is very aged. I think that makes it better. I don't know enough about alcohol to do this part of the adventure. I need an adult.
Does it have a good? Does it have a good stopper in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know what that is. Yeah.
I don't know if
I'm
this
going
is
to
a
put
good
it in my
plan.
backpack.
I don't know
Okay.
if this is a good plan, but we have that whole container of poison with the poison fish. We put that in the decanter. We go
To be
away.
fair, you have a poison fish in a container.
Okay. Well, we squeeze the poison fish into.
Do you want to like just randomly poison someone?
No, not somebody. Whoever's living here, so that we poison it. Just wait.
No one is living here. This
That
is an empty house. It's time for we address this. That raven is crazy.
I
just imagine after you've dealt with whatever people live in this house, the adventure is ended. The raven comes back to his living room and reclines in the chair, pours himself a drink from the poison.
This map said there was
gets ready to write a nice personal check to the adventurers.
This map
and then takes a sip.
This map led us here, said there was treasure. There's not treasure. This raven led us here saying there were people here. There's not people. There's two things leading us here. Both of them lies.
We could just become the squatters and move in.
Maybe the
and not poison the booze, but just start drinking it.
Maybe the raven was a seer and foresaw us taking over this house.
And decided to hire us to.
I mean, it's a grandfather paradox, but yes.
I haven't read all the player's handbook. Presumably, it ends at level 3. So yeah, this is the time to settle down.
Look, it's obvious that there have been people here recently.
Recently? Within the last 100 years?
Yes.
It seems like somebody
was cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah, somebody recently uncovered these armchairs and put the sheets in the corner.
They're not tidy.
Some parts of the house extremely desolate, not touched in decades, if not.
This is a Goldilocks situation at best.
Mm.
Yeah, but there's going to be 3 bears in the basement then. Have we seen
birds or the bears?
You are now faced with the ethical dilemma of: do you go upstairs in the evil haunted house or downstairs in the evil haunted house?
Well,
I think we should upstairs and then go downstairs.
Yeah, we'll scope out the up.
Agreed.
And then we'll go into the torture basement.
It could just be a basement.
Well, this is going to be a very short adventure then.
Tony, any basement could be a torture basement if you have the right attitude.
Thanks, Monty. Let's see here. All right, I am taking you to the second floor because that's what you said you wanted to do. This is all on you, people. So there is off of the parlor a set of stairs that go up. I'm also revealing part of the map that Nyasa previously looked at through a window. Can you see that? You can now see the kind of edges of the house, I think, hopefully. Sense of things there. All right. So the stairs, short flight of stairs going up to the second floor of the house. There is a kind of skinny hallway here that seems to kind of cut through the house. Nyasa, this lines up with what you saw before. There are several doors and a turn off of this hallway. Up to you what you will want to explore first.
Well,
I'm going to go just wander into this space up here.
Okay. Neural, you turn the corner in the hallway heading west and look in. This looks like perhaps it's small. Maybe it was like a guest room or something. It's not very fancy. It looks like this bedroom has not been disturbed in quite some time. Thick layers of dust, cobwebs covering everything. There's a narrow bed, moldy mattress on it. There at one point would have been an elegantly carved headboard. There's a wooden dresser with kind of one half of the doors hanging open, nightstand, empty coat rack, what have you. Do you want to poke around in here?
Yeah, I'm going to go check out the nightstand and any other under the bed. And perception.
I like to think that you just lift the bed up one-handed.
Exactly. It's exactly at 18.
18. You're poking around. You lift the bed up one-handed. In the kind of dust under the bed, something perhaps I don't think you expected to see there. There's an ice cube. A cube of ice, ice cube sized, lying on the floor under the bed.
Okay, this is very suspicious.
This is strange to you because it is not in a pool of water. It is not particularly cold in this room. But there's an ice cube there.
Well, we've got booze downstairs.
It's true, we do.
If I do, like, who's better at Arcana than I am? Pretty much anybody could be.
-1.
I'm okay at Arcana.
I am not okay at it.
No healers, no wizards. These are the rules we live by. Wait, no. Townley's a warlock, right?
Well, yeah, but I don't study magic. I just get magic
You just
from
get
the
it.
Queen of Air and Darkness, which I
got
cannot
it.
emphasize enough.
Who is
Legacy
beautiful and generous.
admission. Got it.
But I am actually proficient in it. So what am I looking at?
You want to look at
This
this ice cube?
The ice cube.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I will focus my magic eyes on the ice cube
All right.
and roll an 8.
All right. This is, as far as you can tell, Townley, a magic ice cube that does not melt, that somebody has left under a bed.
That's cool.
That is cool.
This is a useful item.
By definition, yes, it is cool.
I'm going to ignore that voice that just appeared inside my head. I think this is just a magical non-melting ice cube, guys. Just a perfectly normal magical non-melting ice cube.
Just
That's
your
gotta be
everyday
worth something.
variety.
You
of
keep
Yes.
under your bed.
Non-melting ice cube.
Yes.
Somebody should take that because
Mhm.
just
I want it. May I have it?
go ahead.
Sure.
All right. Adding it to my inventory.
And if we find you frozen solid next morning,
Mm-hmm.
then
Sorry about your luck.
Then what?
well, I didn't really have a second half of that
It's
sentence.
long, and thanks for the poison fish.
Yeah. It's just another one of these strange quest items that we will have to use at some point.
Yep.
Is there a door to the west of me?
There is a door. There's a hallway and a set of stairs, a spiral set of stairs, and I'm just going to reveal this part of the map. There's a door hanging open to a similarly shambly guest room to the west of this one.
Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna dig around, lift.
Yeah,
the bed
give me a
up.
quick perception check.
All right, let's see what we get here. 11.
This room seems identical to the room you just searched, except it does not have a magic ice cube under the bed.
Oh, this is clearly the
Hmm.
substandard room.
Yeah.
Obviously.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna go check out this area that to the south of me.
Okay. There's a door over here on the hallway.
Okay.
And, I think this area is not very well secured. So I think there's a lot of doors that are just kind of hanging open or at least ajar that you could poke your head into. This seems to be the master bedroom here on the second floor of the chalet of this house. Spacious bedroom, walls decorated with wainscoting. I totally know what that is. And rusty oil lamps. There's a 4-poster bed against the south wall. The bedposts are carved to look like stags and wolves. Opposite the bed is a stone hearth with a black marble mantle that has a pair of elk's antlers mounted above it. There's a bare, dust-covered writing desk on the west wall. Pair of tall windows flanked by burgundy drapes and partially boarded over. There's a wardrobe, and there's an empty dog kennel in the southeast corner.
When you said a bare writing desk, I thought
Yeah.
it was yeah.
No, so did I. It was like, that's amazing.
Is it
No,
writing
it's the
desk
boring-
for a
it's-
bear or made from a bear?
I love that multiple you went there. No, it's the boring version of the bear writing desk.
It's just bare and empty.
A desk for writing 2 bears.
Got it. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to go dig through what we have: a writing desk, and
Yeah.
there's a closet, and there was a dog kennel, and under the bed. And,
That raven reminded me of the writing desk.
that's good.
I'll have a
Referencing
poke through the desk. Why not?
All right, give me some perception checks. People poking around.
I got an 18. Looking at the desk.
Yeah, you go through. It looks like somebody has intended to have cleared out this desk. There's really nothing left in it, not even your kind of basic things that you would expect to find as far as stationery or whatnot. But you do, in going through one of the drawers, Nyasa, you find perhaps it was like caught between the drawers or something like that, a sheet of paper, and I'm assuming you will want to pull it out.
Of course.
It is a instructions on how to make a paper hat. potentially that you could make using the piece of paper the instructions are. They're illustrated instructions on.
I make the paper hat.
Obviously.
Roll sleight of hand.
Okay, sleight of hand. I have not bad, +3. I got a natural 20.
It is an amazing hat, people.
I
You are
put it
the
on-
envy of all your friends.
I put
Game
it
one
on
level
top of
hat.
the other hat that I'm
Yes.
still wearing from when we got the hats last time.
When I see the hat, I give you a feather to put in your hat.
Oh, very nice.
Neural, did you want to roll perception as you're poking around in this master
I
bedroom?
did. I got 8.
8. Yeah, you are not seeing anything. You know, you kind of poke around all the furniture. The bed is kind of into the room, which is a little strange. It's bolted to the floor, but you're peeking in and around everything else.
I got
It
a
is bolted to the
16.
floor.
Yeah. 16, Bellin.
Yeah, and I was looking like mostly in the closet area.
Mm-hmm. You are poking around. You are not seeing anything too exciting in the closet area. It looks like it's been cleared out. It's just dust. In one little kind of crevice of the wardrobe, you find it's impossible to know how long this has been here. Possibly it's got a thick layer of dust on it. A brass prosthetic nose.
We did find.
we still have the hand?
Yeah. Are we gonna make
Those were
the owner of
quite
this
a ways
house?
apart.
They
In
sure were.
But it's
different homes.
but it is a coincidence.
But if we put the pipe in the hand,
Mm.
And the ice cube and the nose. And
This
now
is
I'm
the
just
saddest Frosty the Snowman I've ever seen created.
I'm
I-
interested in this bed being bolted down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to try to
um,
flip it.
All right.
You want to try to flip it with me?
Yeah, sure. I'll
What's your
grab it
strength?
and, just a sec. Where did I go? No, sorry.
I mean, I probably have the tools to unbolt it, but feel free to just
What
rip
fun
it
is
off.
that?
Ripping it out seems more fun.
Yeah, I'll stand back. I'm going to move back to here next to Danley.
It actually is it possible to actually look under it, or is it just goes?
Oh,
right
yeah.
to
You've
the
looked
ground?
under it. It's just dusty
Okay.
and gross under it.
Okay. Then yeah, we'll give it.
What's your strength modifier?
Just +3.
Okay, I'm gonna try to flip it. Will you help me?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Does
so
that give
I
me
will-
advantage, Tony?
It does.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I have a +5, so. You've got to be kidding me.
Oh,
I rolled
no.
a 1 and a 9.
ah,
So
What's your 9 modify to? Is it just a 9?
14.
14. You are trying, and as you kind of try and flip you're flipping a 4-poster bed, Bellin. Like 3 of the parts of the bed, 3 of the posts kind of like wrench and twist as you're doing it. And one of them seems much more kind of like, I don't know if it's load bearing or secured or built into the structure of the house, but that seems suspicious. So yeah, one corner of the bed has kind of got your attention compared to the others that we're
Can you
bolted down.
rotate
but
it? Is that a pivot?
You could try.
Sure, yeah, I'll try. I'll point it out to Neural and be like, that side is resistant.
Okay, so let's focus on that area and see if we can force it to turn.
All right.
Okay.
I don't think you need to roll anything for it, given how specific that was. The bed, the one of the posts of the bed kind of rotates, and a wall on the south side of the bedroom cranks open, revealing a large circular room beyond. I put an
Interesting.
S on the map, indicating there was a secret door there.
All right. So I'm just going to go through the secret door and into this area, which we've seen before, but we haven't
Yes.
dug around in.
So Nyasa kind of looked into this room from before, from the window. This appears like it might have been some kind of like loft or something like that, but it's not in good shape. Maybe there was like, I don't know, Neural, you're looking around and it's like, was there like an explosion here or something? Or did something hit the top of the house? There is like a gaping hole in the area above. You can see that like the third floor is relatively visible above you. There's what's left of kind of a curved wooden staircase leading up to that. It's rather treacherous because a decent part of that staircase is now part of this room that has collapsed into it. Some stuff is still darkened with soot. There's all kinds of timbers that have fallen down. Mixed in with that is maybe some furniture that used to be on the room above that has collapsed in here and combined with the furniture that was in this room. So just all kinds of timber and lumber and wood jutting out in all kinds of angles. It's hard to even know what this room might have done or served originally as some kind of function. You are free to root around in the just piles of timber here. Great way to get tetanus. So
I'm gonna do it anyways. So
all right,
dig around, see what can be found.
Yep.
And I roll a 12.
All right. You're digging around and you find an object. It looks like it might have been concealed here. Like it's like you push aside a thing and there's like kind of like a little hollowed out area of the mess. And there is a stone figurine here. It's about 6 inches tall. I'm going to show you some art for this. If you see a big description of it below this, please don't scroll down and read that. But there's a strange 6 inch tall sculpture. Maybe it's made out of stone.
Are we allowed to know the name of it, which is on top of the image?
Yeah, it's fine. Some of you might recognize with a religion check the creature that is depicted here. I didn't have a way to share that image with you without giving that label, unfortunately. But there is the sculpture seems to depict a strange kind of demonic-looking creature with, goat horns and a fearsome snout and bat wings. And this kind of muscular demon goat thing is carrying in one hand a rod with a skull on top of it, and in its other hand, 3 heads that he's carrying by the hair, and his legs are cloven hooves. Yeah, Neural, I mean, I don't think you have to be a cleric to know that everything about this little 6 inch statue is super creepy. Did somebody nearby roll a religion check?
I did, but I got a 2.
I got a 7.
2 he seems like bad.
It's the Queen of Air and Darkness.
You are confident, Townley, that it is not the Queen of Air and Darkness. You're not sure where that's where your pantheon ends. It's not that. Neural, you are looking at it and it's like, well, whoever this guy is, he's not one of the like happy-go-lucky gods.
I'm liking it. I like this. I'm gonna. How is it big enough? I can just like.
It's a 6 inch tall sculpture, so it's not that tall.
Oh,
it's not that big.
I'm gonna
it's in a bread box. I think. I don't know how big bread boxes are.
Well, I'm gonna stick it in my backpack.
All right. Anyone else? So Townley, you were in here looking at it, failing to recognize who it is. Nyasa, you've creeped into the room.
That staircase. Is the staircase good enough that I could dex my way up it?
It would be precarious, but you could try.
I'll try.
There's the other staircase, the spiral one, right?
There is another spiral staircase over here that seemed much more structurally intact. There's also a room as yet unaccounted for here on the second floor.
I want to go into this unexplored room.
Okay, you peek your head in into that room. Kakara, you are looking around. This appears to be like a study. There's a handsome roll-top desk. There's some padded leather armchairs. There's a fireplace, lots of things with wolves and stag imagery carved into wood and whatnot. Draped over each chair is a wolf pelt. And there is also a narrow spiral staircase choked with cobwebs heading up to the 3rd level from this room as well.
Okay, I'm going to rummage in this desk.
You rummage in the desk. Give me a quick perception check.
9.
You are rummaging in the desk. You find a nice set of calligrapher supplies. It looks like whenever they moved out, someone didn't really check this desk very carefully. There's in one of the drawers, there is a leather journal with a stylized wolf head on the front cover. and these the aforementioned calligraphy supplies.
Can I look at the journal? Is there something written in it, or is it?
Oh yeah, you flip through it. It's somebody has maintained this journal. Do you want to spend a little bit of time reading the journal?
I do want to try to read it.
Second book of the adventure, people, if you count this journal as a book. Which
Third, that cookbook counts.
Oh, thank you, Townley. So this book seems to be the regular journals of a woman who visited this chalet that her family owned repeatedly. She married into the Brantifax family. And she and her children and her husband would have occasionally come to this hunting lodge to get away from life in the big city and spend some quiet time. Her husband, Baron Brantifax, is very into hunting. She doesn't think very highly of that. But she likes that the hunting lodge makes him happy as well. She talks about the family dog, Brorn, who seemed to be almost as beloved as the children. The Baroness who kept this journal, it looks like she adds to this every time she visits the chalet, which seems to happen some frequency over the years. She prefers the hustle and bustle of the city to the kind of spooky isolation of the chalet. It's just a little too far from civilization. She talks about bringing her children here. Her first child, Sylphine, was kind of sickly and confined to the bed a lot. The Baron did hope that the clean air of the woods would be good for her, and they talked about hiring a nursemaid to take care of Sylphine, but that unfortunately there's a later entry. Sylphine died at the age of 6. Then she also talks about the younger daughter, a name named Haluth. And how much Haluth takes after her father and loved to go on hunting trips with her father. But that sadly Haluth as well died in a tragic hunting accident, killed by a wolf when she was 9. These things happen in the dangerous world, and it could have just as probably not wolf attack, but things could happen just as easily in the city. It's a dangerous world to raise children in, says the Baroness. One of the later entries, the Baroness is unhappy that the Baron has insisted that the daughters both have been buried here at the chalet in the graveyard. In the final entry, the Baroness speaks of evil whispers in the graveyard and vows never to return to the chalet.
Well,
I keep the journal, but also am prepared to relay these tidbits to my friends.
Well, we never checked out the graves, so
I checked them out.
Townley did.
Oh, that's true. And nobody tried to eat you, so
No.
Yet.
Well, shall we just keep going up?
Keep going up. I'm going to go up the stair right beside me.
All right.
Follow.
I'm going to go up this stair because nobody wanted to see my acrobatics.
So we are splitting up.
I
then.
always want to see your acrobatics.
I guess technically you're splitting the party.
We are technically splitting the party.
Yeah, but it's like just a corridor. What could go wrong?
What
Famous
could
last
go wrong,
words.
indeed. For answers to questions such as these, let's play another few minutes of Dungeons and Dragons.
I wanted to go up the stairs that were in the tower.
Okay, those will be treacherous, but you're welcome to try.
Thanks.
I was going to do that.
Well, but you didn't. You went somewhere else.
That's
I
because
was standing
everybody
here.
said, be sensible, don't do the acrobatics.
I was
There's-
standing here waiting for you to go, and you
Do
went through
as
different stairs. So now I'm
he's-
doing it. That's what you
There's
get.
there's enough stairs for everybody. Oh my god. So the upper areas of the chalet have some serious kind of structural issues with them. It does seem like there's holes in the roof, particularly a large one over the tower in the southeast corner, so a little bit more exposed to the elements than the other parts. Nyasa, you emerged at the top of one set of stairs with Bellin. You're in what looks like it was probably at one point servants' quarters. the gaping holes in the roof here. Clay tiles from the roof itself have kind of clattered down into this room. Splinters of woods splinters from wooden beams, leaves, even some bird droppings cover the floor. And the rafters have several birds' nests formed out of twigs and straw on them. A familiar-looking raven looks down at you from a hole in the roof and then flaps away. There are 2 wooden bed frames on the north wall. There's a wooden storage trunk sealed with a rusty padlock. There's some tall, narrow wardrobes. On the other side of the house, at the very same time, cut back and forth to make it seem more dramatic than it actually is. Neural and Kakara emerge in what looks like it was perhaps some kind of nursery. This part of the roof, at least, is very intact and more protected from the elements. Dust blankets everything. Stone hearth in the middle of the north wall. There's a mirror and an oval rug on the floor. There's a bed sized for a young child, a rocking chair, a shelf lined with dolls under a thick layer of dust, a wash basin. There's some stuff for a child in the corner, a small wooden cradle, a wooden playpen, a window box, a mobile made of colorfully painted fish positioned above the playpen. Looks like this was a nursery where a child or baby would have been kept up here.
And there's no door between the two.
There's not. It does not look like this room connects over to the other side of the.
We did split the party.
The third floor.
You
did split
I yell,
the party.
"Hey!" through the wall.
Nyasa, you hear someone yell, "Hey!" in a suspicious voice. Townley,
Yes.
you climb up the stairs in the spiral staircase. This looks like, it's again hard to tell what would have happened here. There's like jutting lumber, all kinds of junk here. There does look like there is some stuff that is still somewhat intact on the third floor here, like just pushed up against one wall. It looks like there's a locked wooden chest. Its lid has been scorched, but the chest itself, it was heavy duty and is intact.
I shout out, I got a mimic.
And Townley, importantly, this part of the third floor does not seem to connect to the other parts of the third floor. So you've really split up.
You've really split everyone.
Nyasa and Bellin, there is another room south of where you are. It's similar to yours in that the ceiling has been broken away in parts. And it looks like this was probably a storage room, old chairs, tables, benches, hunting trophies, rolled up rugs, all kind of crammed in here and covered and starting to kind of rot away in the exposure to the element. Looks like there might be some framed pictures and mirrors wrapped in sheets stacked in one corner. So you've split up. What does the different people want to do in your different creepy parts of the attic?
Well, I've got a locked chest, so I'm going to actually do rogue stuff and try and open it.
Check for traps.
Well, yeah.
Don't listen to him.
Are you a mimic now?
Yes.
Give me a lockpick attempt, Nyasa, to get into this ancient trunk.
Okay.
Somewhere, a barbarian with a chunky lead key has thoughts.
Well, I rolled 19 plus whatever I add to that.
All right, you managed to pick the lock of this the heavy, chunky padlock on this storage trunk. Do you want to open the storage trunk?
Yes.
Yes. You open the trunk, and it looks like this was where Baron Brantifax may have stored his hunting materials, equipment. There's a suit of studded leather armor, sized for a somewhat portly adult human, a leather helm, a heavy crossbow, a wooden case with the monogrammed BB, and some hunting traps. The wooden case looks like it has fancy crossbow bolts with crimson fletching in them.
Well, I'm going to take the helm and certainly the crossbow and the bolt.
Okay.
That'll be your third hat.
Yeah, I this is the whole thing. It's like hats on hats on hats.
Mm.
And a
The
wig.
turducken of hats.
I have got a blonde wig on as well. Just
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
above one of the hats. It's like a hat
Bellin.
and then a wig, and then
Yeah.
So do I get
Bellin,
any,
what would you like to be doing during this hat madness?
do I get any AC bonus for this hat
I don't think so.
ducking? Well, I just take it off and throw it on the ground.
All right.
I think I want to look in this once I see that Nyasa is okay. The trunk was not a mimic, at least as far as we can tell.
The hat might be.
So far, the hat might be. I want to look into the storage room, and I want to see if there's anything of value in here.
Okay. You're poking around. Give me a perception check.
Perception. I forgot how to read for a second. I couldn't find it. I got a 5.
You know, it looks like probably the stuff they stored up here was even perhaps less nice than the stuff that was kind of in active use. You do flip through. There's a stack of paintings in the corner that perhaps they've taken down in preparation for boarding up the house. One painting depicts 3 deer grazing on a hill. Another one shows a gray mastiff with a duck in its mouth. Third depicts an armored human knight on a hippogriff. That looks pretty badass. And the fourth is a portrait of the Brantifax family. Baron Brantifax is seated in a chair. There's a gray mastiff sleeping at his feet. Wife standing at his side. Baron Brantifax is kind of a stout, well-dressed man. Looks like he might have been in his 50s. The painting was commissioned. There's some bags under his eyes. The Baroness is kind of a tall, thin woman, also in similar age. One of her hands is kind of resting gently on the Baron's shoulder, while the other one grasps a small bouquet of roses. There's no children depicted in the painting. Meanwhile, over in the nursery, Kakara, Neural, would you like to be doing anything?
I am going to give a thorough searching.
Mm-hmm.
I will help rummage through things. Staying away from the dolls. No creepy dolls.
I roll an 8.
Neural, are you staying away from the dolls?
No, I am not.
All right, Neural, Kakara, you're looking around. There's a bunch of kind of ancient playthings from a child that have coated with decades of dust here. Neural, as you kind of knock aside a shelf full of dolls looking for things around it, the image of a young girl kind of flashes across your eyes. She looks pale, deathly white, and kind of in pain.
No.
I express that I've seen this to Kakara.
And I say, keep away from those creepy dolls.
Mm-hmm.
This place is haunted.
I don't know. I'm like, I feel like I need to do something. I don't know what though.
Meanwhile, in the south tower, Townley, you have climbed to the top of these treacherous steps. The tower is all kind of blown out from some kind of disaster that happened in the past. I did mention that there was kind of a charred chest here at the top of the stairs. Anything you want to do?
The first thing we do is cast Mending on the steps.
Okay. Does mending cover objects as big as steps?
No, but
You do one step at a time?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
A single break or tear in an object no larger than 1 foot in any dimension. Never mind. Doesn't work.
You fix one step.
Well,
Hey,
I
We got to
will,
start somewhere, people.
Eldritch Blast this chest.
All right. You Eldritch blast the chest. The chest was unlocked. And so the lid kind of rattles open with the force of the Eldritch blast. You want to open the chest now?
Yes.
All right. Inside the chest, it looks like there's a variety of components and kind of elements for making various magical items. So you see a lot of trinkets, maybe some potions in little kind of dividers in places here. All kinds of like little sparkly things that catch your attention, Townley. And as your kind of eyes are kind of gazing over these, perhaps with wonder and excitement, You hear the sound of perhaps feathers, perhaps of flapping, and whirl around to see that several creatures have entered the tower from the hole in the ceiling. 4 bird-like creatures look down at you, and one of them speaks to you. Those don't belong to you.
Okay. Do you guys know who made this map?
I'm just going to show you the picture of what these look like.
Oh.
There you go. Townley. Do these creatures know who made the map? Are they going to murder Townley for splitting off from the rest of the group? What do they know about the spooky ghost child over in the nursery? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill. Candlekeep Mysteries, The Book of the Raven, the adventure we're playing right now. The end of this session, not of the adventure. So there are 4 bird-like creatures in the room with you that we'll deal with next time, Townley. So exciting.
I'm glad I brought those silver daggers after last time.
Well, live stream bootleg, I think that is all for today. We will at some point schedule a follow-up session for this and deal more with the Book of the Raven and what is going on in this spooky house. And, ultimately, what is the nature of adventures that Bird sent us on. Until then, thank you for listening, but I think we're going to sign off for now.